My goodness.
4th of July.
Man.
Halenville Live Easter Sunday. What's happening?
Yo.
How's it going?
We got the Rev on board tonight. Kurt, how's it going, dude?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man. Nice to see you.
Absolute treat to join you guys on Easter Sunday. This takes place.
It is a treat to have you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. How's things going, Johnny?
Hey, what's going on?
So, Tony, we should have hopefully 2 other guests. I was telling you in the green room, my 2 other co-hosts from the 5150 show, Andrew, a.k.a. Fender Guru, and then Brad Flame Fingers Cooks. I'm not sure if Brad's going to make it. He may be still working or have something going on, and then Andrew's going to be a little late. But if you guys don't know, those 2 gentlemen, it's quite a chore for us to get together and do a show. Right now, where Andrew is it's 2:10 on Monday in New Zealand, and then where Brad is, it's 12:10 on Monday. So they're completely a day ahead of us, and a day and a half, or a half a day, basically. Yeah. So sometimes if they want me to jump on an odd day, it's like 11 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock at night for me, or 6 in the morning. So it's tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's tough.
It'll be midnight around here like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the same time zone too, huh, Kurt?
Yeah, we are. Yep.
7? It's 7:11 right now.
Yep. Go grab a Slurpee.
I want some Peeps is what I want. After last night, we were talking about all kinds of candy and stuff, and that's what I want.
I jumped on the show last night for about 40 minutes and crashed. I crashed. I couldn't keep it together. I got in bed and I died.
Yeah,
I'm a early. I go to bed early. You got about a half hour in?
I got about an hour in the midnight show last night. Yeah.
Wow. I did about 4 hours.
Oh, really?
I got a 3-hour drive tomorrow, so I'll catch it.
Well, we did 3 hours, and then I did a premiere. You know, I was saying the other day, I've got this wireless, the guitar wireless from Lakato that I did a review for, and so I set that as a premiere right at midnight. Well, my time, so 3 o'clock your time, a.m. Right. So and YouTube has this cool feature where you can basically send your audience to another live video or premiere. Has to be on your channel though. That's the only thing. So you can't really do a raid. It'd be cool if you could just send to somewhere else that's live and automatically raid, another show like I do a lot of times, but you send them to your own stuff. And so it's great because, it automatically got me like 80 views, like right off the bat or whatever, on the other video, so
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Cool. Yeah, it's a cool device. I mean, it's right up. It's like right there. It's in that box. I'm going to use it. Somebody was asking me in the live chat on my show. They're like, "Are you going to use that on a Music Man Monday?" You know, I'm like, "Yeah, definitely, definitely." You know.
Music
So,
Man
Johnny,
Mondays is
did you notice a delay in the thing or any kind of
No
lack of tone or any of that?
latency. No, I didn't. That's
That's
what's
all.
awesome. That's what's awesome is because I've used wireless systems forever, and to relate back to Van Halen, I my first wireless I ever had was a Nady, a Nady wireless, and I got that at Guitar Center it was right around the time of Right Here, Right Now, because, you know, I mean, I'll admit it, back in the day, I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen, and so if you see any
all did.
pictures or video of me from back in the day, I got the long hair, I'm wearing the long yellow shirt with the ripped jeans, playing the Music Man, playing Pound Cake, Judgment Day, whatever. And I was using this wireless system all the time. But the thing is, the older those things would get, the latency would, because when I had the thing shipped to Miami when I was working with Desmond Child, and I tried using the wireless for a show down there, and the latency was so noticeable I couldn't use it. It was impossible to use. So, and then I got a Shure wireless when I was working with this band up in Sacramento back in 2006, and we played this huge theater. And I remember jumping off the stage, running through the crowd, and running all around, and letting the guard let me back on the stage and everything. That was cool. I mean, that wireless was cool, but I haven't used one since. I've used cables since. So doing that review for Lakato, that was my first time using a wireless in since 2006. Long time, long time,
Yeah.
And so no, it's great. It's great, and I'm looking forward to using it more and doing more live guitar stuff over my channels, with it.
Just like Eddie, you went from wireless to cable, then back to wireless.
Yeah. You can tell. I mean, with anything, you can tell. I mean, with any piece of gear, anytime you switch something out, no matter what it is, if it's new strings, a different guitar pick, the only thing you really can't hear in all your gear is your strap. Although I do take that back. If you have the EVH strap with the clasps banging on the guitar,
you can hear them clacking.
Yeah, you can make some noise with that. But otherwise, everything else does make a difference. There is a difference with if you switch anything around. So, but definitely with the wireless unit, it can be very noticeable. So yeah. Right, yeah. Sandra?
I hadn't used one before. I've used the Shure wireless mics, but not the guitar. Yeah.
They're more of, depends on what you're doing. If you're a bedroom player, I mean, it's cool to have. It just depends. Just depends, because if you're a gigging musician, you want to get on and off that stage as fast as you can, no matter where you are on the bill.
Yeah.
Especially if the bigger the gig, the bigger the show, a theater, whatever, you got to get up there. You want no problems with your gear, and putting a wireless unit in there, that can be asking for problems, a lot of times. That's why I've stayed away from them for, last several years. But I'm excited to try this new one. So anyway.
Yeah.
These pros, look at Eddie's setup, different wireless system for each guitar, and then they had a backup for the backup wireless systems in case something went wrong. If you look at some of the pictures in some of these Japanese magazines, it's pretty cool. So they got a different wireless system for each one. And right here, Tony. Coke Zero.
Yeah.
I drink the minis because
Oh man,
we'll be on a show for a little bit. But yeah, then they have a few backups as well. Probably what, three or four backups, you think, Johnny, on top of the 2 or 3 different guitars?
Per guitar?
Right?
Well, each guitar will have its own receiver.
Yeah.
So if you look on the guitar strap, each one has
Right.
its own one. And let's say the US Festival during Edward's guitar solo, he changed. They brought him out like a new guitar strap, I think, during that solo, and they might have brought him a new wireless unit too. And for the rest of that show, you see his other strap dangling down like a tail. If you notice,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, with gear, you always have to have a backup, no matter what.
With that being said, back to Van Halen. If you watch the Eagles or Aerosmith or everyone, Eddie is really the only guy that I know that would use a minimum of 3 guitars a show. And if it was up to him, he would probably use 2. Why was he so?
He would use one. He
hell bent on using one
because when you play live, like I said, you have to have a backup. You always have to have a backup to something. Your main guitar, you want to have a backup to that. But when you want everything to be consistent. You just want to rely on one thing. If it works great, you want to use that the entire time, right? The only times he ever changed guitars is if the song called for it, if it needed the different sound, or if it was a special, a 12 string for secrets or
little guitars.
The little, Les Paul for little guitars, And even for that song, Mike had a mini bass, live.
Oh, yeah.
You notice he's playing a small bass too.
Yeah, right.
And then they brought that back when they did the song, Jumbio, 2008, 2007, 2008. He was playing a smaller Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but some guys they'll switch guitars every song, and I guess you're right. It's probably opens the door to something going wrong, right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The more stuff there is, the more of a chance something can go wrong. But I think with Aerosmith and who'd you say? The other band, Eagles. The Eagles.
I mean, I just watched all the live shows I've watched. It's some guys, they do a new guitar every damn song. Their techs hand them a new guitar.
Yeah,
and it's like, what the hell?
I think that's more for show. I think.
Yeah, a lot of them.
It's like, oh, look at this Les Paul on this song. Oh, look at this old Strat.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of those songs they could stick to the same guitar as well. Although maybe
watch
not.
The rig rundowns on Premier Guitar on YouTube, and some of those guys they'll have 12 guitars racked up for a show, and Ed has 4.
And they use them all.
3 of them are backups.
And they use them all, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ed never really liked the in-ear things neither. He didn't start with that till 12, I think.
Well, they didn't really have them. Did you know that Alex Van Halen is partly responsible for those?
No, is he really?
The company, yeah, the company that actually produced those. Alex is one of the first to actually get a set, not headphones, but the in-ear monitors.
Yeah,
but he wore headphones early on, right? Before the in-ear.
It was Is John Bill in here? He started using them, I want to say, in Balance 95 is when he started
He
using
put his
those.
headband around him.
Yeah, but he was probably wearing headphones. Yeah, he was wearing headphones, cans for 93 when they did Dreams. If you watch him Dreams, like the whiskey video, he's wearing the headphones. And then there's really no super close bootlegs of 84 where during like Jump or during a keyboard track. Actually, no, they played the keyboards live on those. Those keyboards weren't sequenced. So maybe he didn't wear headphones for that. But the reason he wears the reason a drummer wears in-ears or headphones during songs that have like pre-recorded tracks is because what they're hearing in their head, they're hearing a click.
Mm-hmm.
They're hearing like a timer. So they're counting off, and then they're hearing the keyboards in there. But actually, mostly they're hearing the click. So because they have to play along with that click, so they're in time for those keyboards. Because
and the band
when so let's say when Van Halen would do When It's Love, Jump, during the Sammy years, that keyboard was leading the band. Alex had to play to that. So in his headphones, he's hearing, he's hearing a metronome.
Yep.
So
we don't need no stinking click.
Yeah. But there is a video. Somebody years ago sent me a day of Van Halen. What show was it? It was an audience recording of. It might have been the first show for Balance. You know how MTV filmed it? There's pro
in Florida.
So there's pro footage of that. There's also audience footage of it. Somebody sent it. I have it somewhere. I haven't seen it in years, but it's a DVD, and it's close up. I mean, it's great. And during When It's Love, actually, you can see they're panning around the stage, and they pan past Alex, and Alex is like pointing at his headphones. He's like pointing, and he's trying to get the sound guy's attention. The guy that runs his headphones, and he keeps making this gesture. He keeps going, like meaning for keyboard.
Turn it up.
No, turn it down. It was too loud.
Oh, turn it down.
I think it was too loud because he looked mad. He's like,
Oh god. While he's
I gotta find those.
Yeah. Pretty cool. But Ed, so prior to the in-ear monitors, they would have a monitor in front of their mics, right? That would play back in front of their face. Mm-hmm. Right, Johnny?
Yeah.
Everybody does. Everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the last 2 tours, he would take his monitors out when he would do a solo.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, because he didn't need them because it was just him.
Yeah. Right.
He's like giving his ears a break or something.
What Edward's probably hearing in those in-ears, he's hearing vocals. He's hearing probably drums, probably bass. Although I think back in the day, I don't think he had. I think I read an interview where they asked him about his monitors on the floor, and he said he didn't have bass. He didn't have bass in him. He just had like drums. He had mostly himself and Alex is what he mostly had in his monitors.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you play a show, when you do a sound check, that's what it's all about, is getting the monitor level. So, because you want it, and then the sound person will ask you what you want in your monitors, like how much guitar, like let's say if it's me on stage, how much guitar I want in this monitor here, how much vocals, how much whatever. And usually you don't need drums. You can always hear drums. Bass, you really don't need bass, really. You just need enough guitar for yourself because you have the guitar behind you if you're near your amp, if your amp is back there, but you're not totally hearing everything from there. So you need the guitar coming in front of you, from below. So you hear yourself there too. And then usually I would ask for vocal, so I knew where I was. If I was like, because there's been some bands where I joined the band like right away, and I just like cram all these songs and then go on tour, and so I have all these little tricks to remember the songs. So there's certain vocals I'd memorize. This one word. After they sing that one word, here's the chorus to whatever. So I'd always want vocals in there, so I'd remember the changes.
Right.
You don't want too many notes as far as like stuff written down on the floor. I've done that. And that just becomes a mess. You want you got to memorize the stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see who is in the chat here. Kurt and Johnny. KXM Rock, Lenny, Lou, and Mary. Right there.
Hey,
what's up, Lenny, Lou?
Will Starr is
hey,
here
Will.
with us. Mr. Thomas Santiago.
Thomas.
You have to sing his name. Can't say it.
Tomas.
Thrash metal and fun riffs.
Hey.
And the lovely Sandra Picorni. Hey, Sandra.
You have to sing her name though too, Tony.
No, John has to sing her name. We can't go
get the
near
arms
that.
going.
John's got the, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is all John. Let's see who else. Mike Neese is in here.
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Mike.
Jeff K. And Chris Sauer. Hey, buddy. Anybody else out there? Say hi.
Browns fan was in there for a while. He may have popped out.
Browns fan. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully
you click back. You click on participants and you can see the whole list of everybody that's actually in the chat.
Oh yeah.
That's actually said something in the chat. Not because if somebody is signed out of YouTube or if they haven't said anything at all, their name doesn't appear there.
Yeah. Half face.
Lurkers. I call those the lurkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Johnny, I know you and I ordered the Dunlop Evh Picks from Sweetwater, and we didn't get them yet. I went into the Van Halen store and ordered some on Monday, and they came yesterday.
Oh my gosh!
What the hell, man?
I ordered those things from Sweetwater. What was that? 2 months ago?
It was in January. It was late January. We ordered them the same day. Yeah.
I order them, and then I order them, and then they call me like later that day. And I was shocked that they called.
I know for a couple picks.
He told me they would have them in 3 weeks.
Yep,
is what he told me.
Too.
And then I end up getting their catalog.
I did too.
Their catalog.
It's a cool catalog.
It's cool, but I wanted those picks.
No.
So do you have any of them, Tony?
No, not those.
Let me see.
You got the shark ones too?
Wow.
Nice.
Got all of them. So the 50 or the regular Frankies, Bumblebees, the Shark, and the 5150s. I have a couple cases of the white ones, so I didn't get the little packs of the white ones, but
yeah,
the 5150s must have been the hot ones because they were immediately on back order. And I think Johnny and we ordered them the day they came out, or the next day, one of the two, and then they immediately went on back order. But then Jeff Housman must have got of them because they're available on his site.
Mm-hmm. They were on what site was it? They were on
Strings and Beyond.
Yeah, somewhere. They're on
Yeah.
some site, and then I posted about them on my EVH Gear Live Instagram. And then I ordered 2 packs of them, the 5150s. And then people start contacting me. Johnny, can you order me some? Because people out of the country. Johnny, can you order me? Get me, you know? And I don't even have them yet, you know?
I got some in November, last year's packaging, and
The tins.
no, not the tins. I've got the tins, but last year's, they look exactly like those, Kurt, except it's got last year's year on them, and I'm not going to open them. So years down the road, you know, they might be worth something.
What's funny about the 5150 picks are the stripes are exactly like the guitar,
Yeah, right.
which are pretty cool.
It's like a mini version of like the front of that guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
With the 5150, I don't know if you guys can see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't.
The
I
top
don't
of the
wanna
you
open
can,
them, but
you can see it with the top of the package there, but yeah, with
Yeah.
the pick itself, yeah.
Yeah.
the
Yeah, those are
prisms
cool.
correct on these, so Rob Johnson's not going to buy them. Do you hear that, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
The prism's not correct on the 5150, so Rob Johnson's not going to buy them.
Uh-huh.
So I probably won't open these. I'll probably keep them as souvenirs, you know, keepsake, because I got plenty of picks. The Dreamer's Life, what's your question? Shoot it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have 2 options on the picks as far as thickness. These are 60 millimeter. I think that's what Ed played with.
Yeah.
And then there's a thicker version, right? Like, or is there only this?
Jamil. I don't know. I ordered the 60s because that's what Eddie used. You know.
Yeah.
Although I didn't
normally
get them
what
to
I play
use.
with.
I didn't get them to
Yeah.
use. I got them excuse me. I got them to get.
Yeah. And this may sound stupid, but 70 millimeters about perfect for me. I'm right in the light medium.
I use 75s.
Oh, 75.4.
When I play. I use I use the heavies. I've got to deal with Intune
Oh, you
guitar
do?
picks.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been on there. I've been with them since 2007, and so these are like Fender heavies, the ones that I use.
Now, Johnny, you perspirate a little bit when you play. Do you sweat on your picking fingers or only your hand? Maybe is that a personal question?
Well, I think everything. Yeah. But as far as like the grip for the pick, I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem with that. And one of the tricks to that, like if I'm using the duct tape, you know, for a pick holder on my guitar, like Van Halen always did, you know, if you have them on there long enough, you pull the pick off and they stick to your fingers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of the residue from the duct tape or the you know, whatever type of tape you're using. So that's a cool trick. That's a cool
Eddie used to put cut a square sandpaper and glue it to the picks.
Yeah.
So like this one, see, there's residue from the duct tape on
Splooge.
that one, you know. And yeah, see, look,
Yeah.
see,
Look, no hands, Mom.
yeah, that's a trick. That's a trick for you guys.
Those new
Okay.
ones, though, those max grips, though, do help you hold on to them, though.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
The Dreamer's Life asked, have I ever seen the Van Halen corner in Pasadena? No. But I'm planning on going down there with Music Therapy Laz in his van when he gets that up and going to do the kind of Van Halen, what do you want to call it? Tourist attraction extravaganza. So I have not been down there.
You got to go there. You got to go by the house on Las Lunas.
Yeah.
That's me when I was there several years back.
That's at the liquor store?
Yeah. Yeah, this was years ago.
I'll go to Sunset Sound and Amigo Studios if it's still around. I'd go check out those two while I'd be down there. You know, in LA.
Yeah. Now, the Dreamer's Life, who asked you that, Will Starr, he is a little older than we are, and I haven't asked him about this. I am, but he's been to those old backyard parties.
Okay.
Will
he
has.
says here that he started a monument with candles and some picks, but it looks like the city cleared everything out. Wow. There's a Nerd Halen pick there, right?
Was it,
Caleb?
There was. All that stuff has been cleaned up because it's rained.
Yeah.
Rain since. But no, what Will is saying, he went and did that after everything was cleared out.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He restarted the
I see.
memorial.
I see. Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you do go to that corner where Van Halen is scratched into the cement there's actually two different spots. Everybody, like what I showed you, everybody knows about that. They don't know about actually in front of because that's not actually in front of the liquor store. That's actually, the liquor store is on the corner, but the Van Halen is actually in front of a barbershop, I think. But if you're facing the liquor store, if you walk to your right, there's another part that says Van Halen over there as well. And then there's like other names. There's like all kinds of like names of like, you know, the Van Halen entourage from back then. And does that book, that encyclopedia book, does it actually say who actually carved Van Halen into the cement there?
I think Alex did. Right?
That's what I heard. But I don't know for sure who actually did it.
They said that it was Ed, Al, and maybe Greg walking down there that day, and Al was the one who did it.
And
Rudy Lauren was there too.
Yeah.
Because Rudy's name is there
when
too.
I come down there.
Rudy's was?
Yeah, it says Rudy. It says Rudy as well. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm mistaken. It's not Greg, it's Rudy.
Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of different names. There's right above that where I showed you. Maybe where was that? There it is. Okay. It says 78 right there. It says Van right there, and there's some other stuff. Then you walk here, it says Van Halen right there.
Yeah.
But then right above it, right above that, I've got several videos of this. There's another one where it says, okay. Oh, come on. Okay, here's another one where I placed a guitar pick, one of those Van Halen picks there, and this was years ago. And there's Howie. Howie's walking by.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Howie.
So Howie's been there.
Cool.
So where I live in Washington. You know, I'm just a couple states north of Johnny, and there's a big Jimi Hendrix, or not a big, but there's a Jimi Hendrix memorial, and it's like a brass statue on
that's
Capitol Hill where he used to play live.
Is that the one where he's has got the guitar, and that's the
Yeah,
one where you see the meme? You see the meme that's saying that Jimi Hendrix owed Jabba money? Have you seen that?
Oh, and he's in Kryptonite.
Because he looks like he's in Carbonite. Yeah, because
yeah, that's the one. So they have that downtown in Capitol Hill, and so fans can go there and pay respect and drop candles and picks and stuff like that, and people leave it alone. And then also up north in a city called Aberdeen, where Kurt Cobain was from, there's a bridge that one of the songs, I can't remember which one it is, that he wrote about where he lived under the bridge. There's spray paint and candles and flowers and all kinds of stuff where people can kind of pay their respect. And I hope they do something like that for Eddie somewhere, whether it's a statue or some sort of memorial.
They are.
I know they paint the wall. Oh, they are?
Yeah, they are. The city, somebody started something in Pasadena to get something for him, and I think they're going to do that. But you're in Seattle?
I'm 2 hours south of Seattle. I'm right in the middle of the state.
So do you know where that bridge? What's it? The gum wall? Do you know?
Yeah, that's in Ballard. Yeah, the gum wall. You wouldn't even touch that thing, Johnny. That thing's disgusting.
No, I know about it, but no, I've been there. I toured through Seattle, so I've
it's
played
cool.
it there.
It's cool city. Cool city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
So you went to the gum wall. Where else did you go?
Oh, I don't even know. Where did we play? I can't remember.
Oh, you guys played there.
Yeah, I played there. Yeah.
Did you play the Moore Theater or the Paramount or Showbox? Anything like that?
It was none of those. If we Googled it, we could find it. Where's Jean Biel? Jean Biel, look it up. It was a bar. It was called High Dive.
Yeah.
In Seattle. Does that make sense? High Dive.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner from a Whole Foods. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's Whole Foods everywhere over there.
I remember going to the Whole Foods and then going to a 7-Eleven to get some smokes. I remember because I smoked at that time again, and it was called High Dive in Seattle.
Okay.
The club. Yeah.
And Steve Anderson's just, he's two hours north of Seattle on the southern tip of the Vancouver Island. So he's pretty close.
Wow.
Yeah. So as soon as this pandemic thing kind of settles down, him and I are going to meet up since he's so close.
Cool. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, this is our show now.
Steve's kind of taken a little bit of a hiatus from YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I see him on Facebook from time to time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because he runs the Van Halen page, and I see him posting stuff. And that's right, Mike Neese. If it was near a Starbucks, I'll remember. That's right.
Every other. You would love it up here. There's Starbucks on every corner.
Yeah. Every Not even every corner, like every corner, like in between corners.
Did you go to the original one?
No, I don't. Well, maybe. No, I can't remember. I really don't. When you're on tour, it's all you know is like you're inside a van. You get out, you walk around, you play. You know, you black out. Probably you're back in the van, and you really, you know, you're lucky if you remember anything about anywhere. Because it's the same thing every day.
Eat, sleep,
Eat and
sound check,
sleep.
show, sleep, eat.
Yeah. But that was my first time to Seattle, so I do remember. I remember driving past the needle, right? The Space Needle.
Yeah.
I remember driving past there and looking up at it and being like, "Wow, that's cool."
So right next to the Space Needle is the Experience Music Project, which probably wasn't there when you were there, but that's where
I was there.
Is.
I was there in 2008.
Oh, so you did? You went and saw it?
Well, no. That's when I was in Seattle. That tour was in 2008.
2008.
I didn't know about that museum at that time, but I've learned about it since.
Yeah,
and
pretty cool.
the 0812 backup Kramer that's there.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah.
And the either second or third ever Flying V ever made, Paul Allen bought at an auction for thousands and thousands of dollars is in there too. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Is Doug Anderson still around? I don't know who Doug Anderson is, but Steve Anderson, yeah, he's still around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt, up near you, how many venues are near you in your area?
Okay, so there's a place called the Gorge and George, which is an amphitheater, and it's about an hour and a half north of me. That's where I saw Balanced and Van Halen 3. And then Seattle's 2 hours west, and pretty much everything's there. But then I can go 3 hours southwest and be in Portland. So I've seen Van Halen in Portland. I've seen him in Seattle, seen him in Tacoma, and then at the Gorge. So ever since Balance, I haven't missed a tour. I've seen him Balance on.
Yeah.
And then Spokane, where I'm going tomorrow, is 3.5 hours northeast. They started I think the Women and Children First tour they started there in Spokane.
I might have that tape.
Do you really?
For those of you watching, I can't. Here, I'll take a picture. I've got. I know I've been saying for like days that I have this like huge box full of Van Halen bootleg cassettes that I used to trade. This kid back in '95 used to send me like all these like bootlegs, like to trade for like magazines, for Van Halen magazines and stuff. And so I just dragged this thing out. And
so it was Women and Children First tour. It was March 24th, Spokane, Washington.
Providence. What is that? Is that one CD 81 Providence, Rhode Island?
Yeah.
5/15/81.
Yeah. It's
Yep, Providence. Rhode Island.
First
This book is
I have a tape of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever heard Van Halen San Bernardino 76?
I can look it up.
9/21/76. I just found it in this box. Van Halen, Niagara Falls, New York, 78.
Yeah, the Bogart, San Bernardino, California. Audio recording exists. 9/21/76.
Well, here
I
it
wasn't
is.
even born yet.
Do you guys want to hear? Do you want to hear some of it? I can play some of it.
Johnny, after that, they played at the Pasadena Civic Center and then Gazzari's for like 10 shows.
Yeah.
So that's early stuff right there.
Did I ever tell you the story where I walked into the Pasadena Civic? There was like a door that was open, and I walked in. This was after a NAMM show one year. I was walking around Pasadena with Howie because I love that city, and we're walking around, and I just happened to see this huge building. It says Pasadena Civic Auditorium across the top, and
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap, that's like the place, So I've got pictures of me and Howie standing in front of it and stuff.
So this show that I'm telling you about, Quiet Riot, opened up for him. How cool is that?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Let me see. But I ended up getting kicked out of there because I walked in through this door, and I was in, I guess, the lobby, and it was like pitch black dark. Couldn't see anything, but then I heard somebody vacuuming, and I walked in, and I'm like, hey, can I see the stage? And I think they film a show there now. Somebody was saying they film like, or they did like one of those not American Idol, but like one of those type of shows. They actually do there now, and I walk in there and somebody's vacuuming, and I'm like, hey, can I see the stage? And immediately they pick up a walkie-talkie.
Oh no!
And they're speaking in Spanish, but I could pretty much understand that they were calling the cops. So I basically just left, and I'm like, well, okay. That was.
But Howie was your seeing eye dog. Remember when you were at when you were at the Van Halen house? He was your seeing eye dog in that photo. Oh, he's on mute.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had my volume down. Yeah, if you go there now, though, there's a huge fence blocking that garage now, so you can't even get near it.
I'm here to see the stage, but I'm blind, and this is my seeing eye dog. Can you let me see it?
Do you want to hear some of this?
Yeah.
That 76.
Yeah, why not?
Tony, have you heard about this show?
Where's it from?
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino, 76.
Okay.
Have you heard it?
This
I don't know.
Club Days.
I've got this huge box of tapes that I haven't heard in years. Here.
Can my dog see it?
Hear that? Is that a cover? Make it last, right? I don't know. Let me see.
Lots of covers in those days.
I think they were all mostly covers. I know I've heard this, but I haven't heard this stuff in years. So I don't know if this is something that's out there now, or if I should digitize this thing right away.
That was some slippery guitar work there. That sounds amazing.
Dang.
Come on, baby, show your love.
Wow,
Were they playing
give
that
it
in
to
'76?
me.
Were they
Apparently
playing that
so.
song in '76?
Yeah, they had to have been. Unless it's let me look it up. That's cool.
Because the thing is with bootlegs and cassettes back in the day, or just anywhere, you know, I don't know if this is something that's already out there or if I should make a copy. Oh, sorry.
So I got a list here. Believe Me, Show Your Love, You Really Got Me, Last Child, Live for the Music, Running with the Devil, The Rover, Sweet Emotion, Waiting for the Bus, Walk This Way, Superstition, Still Alive and Well, Firehouse, Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers, Keep Playing the Rock and Roll, Twist and Shout, 30 Days in Hell, and
3 days in the hole.
In the Hole. Excuse me. Rock and Roll Review.
Wow. Hey. Wow.
Andrew and Brad on the scene.
Sorry we're late, brother. Sorry we're late. Oh my God.
What were you guys doing?
Can't tell you.
I think they were practicing some cage fighting.
Ah, nice
No,
to see you
Dude,
guys.
we were just listening to some bootleg from '76. So Johnny, if you look in your encyclopedia, the set list is in there. If you want to put that in digital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
know if it's already out there because I don't know if it is or not because I mean I've heard it, but I mean I heard it years ago, you know.
Yeah.
If that's something that's rare though, if it's not really out there, definitely I'll digitize it right away.
Just digitize them anyway, Johnny. Stick them all out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got enough of them in there to where not all of them are out there. I'm sure.
It's a huge pile. It's a major pile of tapes that I've had for years and years and years. This 10-year-old kid used to call me. This is back in 90.
You stolen from a 10-year-old?
95. No, 94. In 1994, you know, I would put an ad out in Goldmine magazine saying, "Hey, looking for Van Halen memorabilia." You know,
Yeah.
people, you know, that's when it was snail mail. There was no internet. And this 10-year-old kid ended up, you know, calling me and saying, "Hey, I've got all these Van Halen bootlegs on cassettes. You know, can I trade them for Van Halen magazines?" You know? And at the time, I had just the biggest collection of Van Halen magazines you could think of. I don't have them anymore. But
Sure, kid.
so I used to trade him, you know, Van Halen on the cover of Circus, on the cover of Hit Parader, you know, all these magazines because I had access to all these magazines because I used to shop at the store called Village Music in Mill Valley, California, where Sammy Hagar used to shop. Sammy Hagar lives up the street from there, and he used to. I told the story where he hand delivered Balance on vinyl.
Yeah.
Like when it came out. So my first copy of Balance I got from Hagar, actually. And anyway, this record store had this huge collection of magazines like in the back room. Like Sammy, you know, there was this one time where I was back there for hours. I come up to the front desk with a pile of rock magazines. And the owner's like, "Hey, Sammy was just in here. You missed him." I'm like, oh no, you know. You know,
Yeah,
if the dude would have told me, I could have come out and met the dude then. I've met him many times since, but anyway, I used to trade this kid, all these rock magazines for a pile of bootlegs. Okay. Ugh. So I've got this box that is just insane. Look at this thing.
Digitize it.
It's so heavy. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
And then what you can do is you can set up a web page and you can sell subscriptions for people to go and visit your hoard.
You can't find the balanced album on vinyl for less than $100.
That's correct.
I've been looking for one.
I had tons of them. Back in the day, I had so much stuff. And I don't know how much of this stuff is actually out there. Vancouver 79?
Vancouver,
Wow.
the southern tip of Vancouver Island?
Steve Anderson might have been at the show. Yeah. But I
Probably.
holy crap.
There's
just
Steve Anderson could have been conceived at that show.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna dig through this stuff.
Tony,
And
you got quite the group here.
Yeah, man.
Anything that
What's
looks
the
super cool
occasion?
here.
No occasion, dude. Van
Just the
Halen.
theme. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, appreciate
You
it,
got
Tony. Thank you for the invite. It's always cool to hang out with you guys. We watch your show, so appreciate it. Thank you for the invite.
And we watch yours. Anytime you guys want in here, any week you want to come over, you're welcome anytime. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So
you.
come
Appreciate it.
often. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you so much.
Brad,
Yeah.
how's the guitar, man? That's the question I want to know. Do you sleep with it still?
I do. It's
Awesome.
amazing. It's beautiful. Beautiful guitar. Beautiful guitar. I think it was too good a deal to pass up, but now that I've got it, I've started to connect with it, so it's really cool. And creatively come up with sort of slightly different ideas on it because it feels that way. It needs to be played a certain way. So it's like picking up a Fender Strat as opposed to a Les Paul. They're different. But I was just talking to Andrew last night about this. My Gibson Les Paul, tonality-wise, is in the same ballpark. So, like, I'm at home on a Les Paul, so I feel like I'm at home on that guitar a little bit. Slightly punchier in a certain mid-range, the Marzios are. Then in my Les Paul, I've got, like, John Suhr pickups in them. So they got quite an amount of output and punch, but they're in the same ballpark. So the feel of it, everything, they're but what can I say, man? The feel of those things is magical.
Nice.
Fast neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful necks. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, and I have fallen asleep once or twice with it on my lap or next to me in bed.
Yeah. Wipe off the drool in the morning.
Yeah.
No, just leave it, mate. That's where the funk is,
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you. I really am. That's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I got it to play it, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it live. It's not one to put in the cupboard. It's just going to get played. That's the whole point of them, isn't it? So,
yeah. Well, our buddy Johnny. How long did you play yours live, Johnny?
My Music Man. Yeah. I got it in 92. So I played it from 92, 93, 94. And I was in bands all these years. 95, 96. I really didn't play it much in 96. I played a Warmoth. I played a Kramer. It was a Kramer Focus 1000 body with a Warmoth neck. And I played that in 96, 97. And then in 98, that's when I was working with Desmond Child. And when I moved to Florida, to Miami, that's the guitar that I used. So
yeah,
I remember him thinking it was a great guitar. And then the dude from the Hooters. You guys remember the band called the Hooters? Erica
Restaurant.
Bazillion from the Hooters. That song "And We Dance" was like their biggest hit.
Yeah.
On MTV. Anyway, he played it. He played my guitar. He thought it was cool, and he told me a story. He told me a story. I don't know if I've ever told this on my channel, Tony, but he told me a story. We were at dinner one night, and he said that he was at like the Grammys or something, because he was up for he wrote that song "One of Us," which you guys will know from. It was in Trabiel. What was the movie with Mike Myers? You know, $1 million.
Waynesboro?
No.
Oh, Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Austin
So
Powers.
you'll remember that song from Austin Powers, but anyway, Eric from the Hooters wrote that song for an artist named Amanda Marshall, and anyway, we were at dinner one time, and he was telling me how he was at the Grammys or something, and Eddie was there, and Eddie was asking him, how do you play that guitar part in that song? Because Eric, he's known for a lot of finger picking, like a lot of like hybrid stuff. And I had to, when I joined this band, I basically replaced the guy from the Hooters. He was like standing in for the next guitar player, which was myself at the time. And so I had to learn all this stuff that he did, and I couldn't wrap my head around some of it. So if Eddie Van Halen's asking him how you play that, I'm like, how do you play that as well, you know? So I'm just like cramming all day to figure out certain finger picking things and capo and all this stuff. But long story short, he played my Music Man and thought it was a great guitar, and that was my main guitar for those years. And then in 2003-4 ish, a band I was in, that was my main guitar again, and then it's pretty much been put away since. So since 2004, I used it for one gig in Oakland, maybe 3 years ago, but since then, it's just
Stays at home.
It's a YouTube guitar. It's a Music Man Monday guitar. I'll play it tomorrow if I play live on my channel. That's what I'll be using. Yeah.
Well, I kind of blame your channel for watching your Music Man Monday with the hashtag. For my one actually rocking up in my feed, it was on Facebook Marketplace. That's how I found it, and it was only because it was only because I was looking at Music Man Monday and Music Man stuff. Then I started seeing all this Music Man stuff popping up in Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it was your fault, Johnny.
Yeah.
Big brother, and the algorithms are following you.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome, man. Yeah, they're great. They're great. Music Man is quality. It's quality stuff.
it's US. It's a US model. It's it just feels, everything feels right about it. Just feels amazing. So I've got to change the string gauge. I'm still got 10 to 52s on it. I think I'm going to go down a gauge on them, but
you got to go 9.
I'm used to 10 to 52s on a Les Paul, so it's kind of like I'm used to that, but it does feel like it needs to go down lighter. It does.
Anything locking tremolo, anything Floyd
Nines.
Rose, you got to go 9s. You just you
And
have
get
to.
coated ones, and and get coated ones, bro, too, because they do last longer. Don't just go for the standard ones. That'll be my advice. Like the standard, ones that they've got.
Yeah.
You've had that about a month now, Brad?
Yeah, I've had it for 3 or 4 weeks now. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all are getting to know each other very well then.
Yeah, it's it gets a daily play. Even late at night when I get home from work and I can't be bothered, I just pick it up and just start playing some stuff, and it's really cool. It's all that stuff I used to get into in the 90s, in the early 90s. I'm picking up and sort of adjusting to play that stuff, which is really cool. So yeah, it's good fun. It's a great guitar. It literally just it's only taken like a few days to, like when I first got it, to really get used to it, and then I just started playing it. So that's how beautiful the necks are, and the whole guitar is like it's like from tip to toe. It's designed to be a player. That's how I see them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Nice to have you guys here. What is your next show about, Andrew? What's next on the show?
Well, we're quite lucky actually because we've got the Rev who's going to be leading Van Halen 1 and Van Halen 2. So Van Halen 2 is a two-part show, guys. So the first part we'll be talking about the gear, the era, some of the background to the album, mainly because, guys, those two albums are pivotal. They're the albums that defined Van Halen, in our opinion, and we thought together, well, we couldn't do just one show and just rank the tracks. You know, there's so much background, and the Rev, you know, he just gets upset when he doesn't have an opportunity to present everything in the testament according to the Rev, you see. So we can't suffer his wrath. We've got to make sure it's there. So seriously, though, seriously. Yeah. Strike us down, Lord, strike us down. No, but seriously, guys, it's important because you know, people want to know that stuff, and we know that from watching Johnny Beane's show, don't we? Over the years, you know, how many times have we watched Johnny Beane's show when him and Dave Nesler was spoken about Floyd Rose for 3 hours?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So next Friday, United States time, we'll be doing kind of introductory Van Halen 2. We'll talk about everything, kind of putting the album together, maybe a little bit about the tour, and then, like Andrew said, the next show we'll dive into their track rankings, and then we'll probably do the same thing with Van Halen 1 because they're both such an epic album.
Yeah.
So
and
Tony,
as you guys see, these two guys have now have been baptized, and they've earned their stripes in the family tree of 5150, where they've been able to put their 5150 numbers after their name because they're now certified. In the script.
Oh, I see that.
We're the 5150s.
Yeah.
It's like the Ramones guys, you know, we're the 5150s. But someone mentioned it in the chat, so we thought, okay, because we do try and pay attention to the chat. It's always important to do that. But Tony, I one quick question though. How old were you when Van Halen 1 came out? Can I ask?
Van Halen 1, I was 11 or 12.
Okay, so were you listening to it when it came out, or did you come to Van Halen a little bit later like us?
I discovered Van Halen the next year, Van Halen 2. Yeah, that was when I went and saw him, bought the album, went back, bought the previous one. Yeah.
You know, one thing that amazes me, and, you know, Brad will probably agree too, and I'm not speaking for him, but it amazes me that you three guys have seen Van Halen so many times. You've seen them with Sammy, you've seen them with David Lee Roth, you've seen Van Halen with Gary Cherone. You know, we've only seen Van Halen once, and that was with Gary Cherone. So, yeah, it kind of amazes me that, you know, I can hang out and talk to guys that have seen Van Halen through the eras. It's almost as if we're not worthy, guys.
No, it doesn't matter when, doesn't matter how many. I just happen to live in an area where there's lots of venues around me is all, you know. Had I lived out in the middle of Iowa, you know, maybe not, but
yeah, because out here in the Bay Area, Sammy's from here, you know, so during the Sammy years, they would do 2 shows, maybe three in a row, maybe.
Wow.
So I would say maybe I've seen them. I didn't see them with Gary because I was on tour myself that year. So I wasn't able to make that tour. But
Okay.
going from 0812, not Monsters, but 0812, which was after the winter tour.
Yeah.
Going from there, and then skip. I didn't see Van Halen 3, but everything after that, I would say total, I've probably seen them maybe 15 times.
Wow.
Maybe.
Wow.
And then solo, I saw Sammy on the March into Mars tour. I've seen Sammy many times over the years, just at award shows.
Okay, I've got one question. Well, one other question for you guys. Sorry to interrupt you, Johnny, but I want Kurt to tell us how many times he's seen Van Halen, and then I want you guys to tell us the best Van Halen gig you've seen and why. And you got to give one.
Interesting.
Okay, so I've seen him 6 times. So I saw him balanced on every show. I saw Van Halen 3. I saw the 04 tour and then the 3 with David Lee Roth. And I've seen the Sam and Dave tour. So I saw them both.
Wow.
And I've seen David Lee Roth. He opened up for Bad Company. And then I've seen Sammy Hagar on the Marching to Mars. So I've seen Sam and Dave both twice and then Van Halen 6 times.
Wow.
And I'll start off with the show. Balanced was absolutely the best by far for me.
Wow.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first one, That's probably
your
why.
first cherry.
Yeah. It was broken.
I saw them 3 times on Balance.
Oh
Really?
my God.
They played Oakland. They played Oakland. They played Oakland. And that show was redone because what happened was Eddie was on his way up, and he forgot that he had a loaded gun in his bag.
Yep.
So he was detained at the airport in Burbank. So when I go to get dropped off at Oakland, and there's signs that say show canceled. The show's canceled.
No Twitter feed back then.
No. And so, and then I see it in the newspaper, I still have the newspaper clipping, actually. I've got this whole folder of stuff. Actually, it's right here.
Digitize it, Johnny.
It's right
Put it on your website.
Sell it.
Sell it.
This Marilyn Monroe folder is just
It's peachy.
It's just full of just all kinds of the Wolfgang. I used to have like hundreds of these things over the years ago.
I ended up cutting that up and hanging it on my wall.
PV. If you guys saw not that, but if you saw the other night, I was showing some stickers. The other night I was showing these things off.
Wow.
Puffies.
These puffy stickers, and then these
stickers.
And see, this is all stuff I collected when I was a kid. So
that was 5 years ago.
This is all
What you should do, Johnny, is you should stage tours to your house. People can stay at your house for a night. You can charge them and you can show them all your memorabilia.
Well, no, but
No.
What's on the other side of this poster? I didn't get it for the Green Day.
Eddie.
Yeah, sort of. All right, the shark.
The shark.
Yeah, this is Guitar World. Guitar World magazine.
Nice.
I've got that, mate.
Yeah. So I've just got all this stuff in here. The sheet music to finish what you started, the Van Halen live, display promo, display thing. I don't even.
What's your best concert, Johnny?
There's a balance one too.
What's the best Van Halen concert you've seen?
Well, I mean, I would have to say, here's the newspaper, Van Halen gun thing. There it is.
Oh, wow.
This
Did it
is
say
from,
why he was carrying a gun?
Yeah, he said he forgot. He was getting on a commercial flight and forgot he had it.
95.
This is April 24th, 95, San Francisco Chronicle. So I remember reading this. There you go.
Mine's cut off. Look at this, Johnny. Remember this?
Yeah. Rolling Stone. Yeah.
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stone.
These were all hanging on my wall in my bedroom.
Wow.
Now we're nerdy, man. This is real nerdy stuff.
Here you go, Brad. You'll like this one.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got that
Oh,
whole
you do?
guitar. I've got that. Is that from a Guitar World?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got that Guitar World magazine. I'm actually going to dig all those out of my storage area. I've got all my
Tony, you
old-
remember these?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've got all those, man. I've got all that stuff.
Wow.
Look, here's my address where I grew up.
I was a member of that, and I actually sold them a lot of my memorabilia. That Helen store. So a lot of the posters that I had, that was because I used to work at a record shop when I was a kid. So I had all these new old stock Van Halen posters. I still do, actually, in the shed out back. But yeah, there's like all kinds of stuff in here. You know, all kinds of. Wow.
Mike tried to tell me to throw all this stuff away. We've been married for 23, 24 years. And I told her someday I'm going to need it. And tonight was the night where I needed it.
It's not going to happen, Kurt.
list
You're
it
not
on
going to throw that
eBay.
away.
Tonight's
That's
the
not
day.
going.
Listed on eBay. I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'll send it to Andrew. I'll gift it to him.
You're not going to get rid of that stuff, brother. I know
No,
you.
won't. I'm adding to it. That's the problem.
Wow.
How about
So,
you, Brad? You
So, Tony, you got to tell us though your favourite Van Halen concert, and Johnny hasn't answered either too. So,
Oh, that's
what's
a
your
good
favourite? What's your favourite Van Halen concert?
I bet you
Tony.
I know what Johnny's favorite one is.
Okay, what?
Which one?
Carnal Knowledge Record Tour.
I don't think so.
My favorite. Oh wow! I used to
Oh,
cut
yeah,
out
you do.
all the stuff from magazines and stuff.
I hear that.
He can't multitask. Oh, you ate one too.
Yeah, I'd say that too.
I've got like all kinds of like cutouts and. Oh wait, this is a poster. Circus magazine.
Yeah.
No, my favorite would have to be KXM Rock. Maybe you were there, man. Concord, 2005.
Oh,
Not 2005,
Oh.
2015.
okay.
Wow.
Concord 2015
That's your favorite?
would have to be my favorite because I was 10 rows back on Eddie's side.
Right.
I'd met Eddie, but I'd never seen him that close up during the show. And I spent the whole show just saying OMG, like the entire thing, just watching him. Couldn't believe it. And thank you to YouTube, I got recognized twice at that show. Walking into the venue, some guy's like, Johnny. And then, believe it or not, the kid standing in front of me at the show, once it's over, he turned around. Hey, you're Johnny. It was crazy.
Nice.
Crazy, man.
Tony,
That was a good
yours.
show.
Mine, now, I first went and saw Van Halen as an opening act during Van Halen 2. And I saw him twice the next year, 4 or 5 every tours. I've seen Van Halen 42 times.
Wow.
How many?
4 to 2 times.
42.
42.
You're
I've
shitting
seen-
me.
Oh,
I've
you can't swear on
seen-
this channel.
I've seen Roth by himself maybe 10 times.
42 times. Truly.
How can you remember which is your favorite then, Tony?
Wow.
Oh, I remember.
Be right back.
Wow.
I've seen every tour except Van Halen 1, including Monsters of Rock. I would have to say it's a tie between one of the North Carolina shows in '84 with the DC Monsters of Rock show in '88.
Did you know that, Kurt? That Tony's seen Van Halen 42 times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've been in the green room for
Well,
3 hours today.
Okay. Well, of course you would know that because you're the Rev.
Oh yeah, yeah. He knew that though. Yeah. No, I've been in. I've seen these guys a number. When they come around, it was always Greensboro, Charlotte, Raleigh, Roanoke, Hampton, and
Oh.
I wouldn't go see each band I liked at all these venues, but Van Halen, no. If it was, sometimes it was back-to-back nights, sometimes it was a couple of nights apart, other times it was a couple early in a tour, and then again later in a tour they'd come back around. But yeah,
Oh, man.
if they were near me, I went.
Oh.
So
What do you reckon, Brad? 42 times.
And I've seen
He
it
has.
once.
Me too.
He has. And guys, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but he has an amazing collection of memorabilia. Some that he's going to show later on in the show in the future. But Tony, how many Van Halen picks do you think you have just off the top of your head from shows? Just a number.
just from the ones that I've gotten at shows from the band, I mean, you have to realize there were nights against the barricade where we walked out of there with 8 off of Ed and 2 off of Mike,
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, but there in '81 was the first time I got a guitar pick at any show ever.
And he was hooked. It was like,
yeah.
he was hooked.
Andrew, I think we should just pack up and go home, Andrew.
Yeah, we're not worthy. I can't add to that.
We can't even go near that.
I've got a T-shirt. I've got some T-shirts.
Hey, Brad.
I'm going to show
you know
you some
what?
stuff.
Sorry.
Eddie was given a hard time because they didn't go to Australia enough. So you guys have an excuse,
Yeah.
If to be honest with you, if they toured here all the time,
Yeah.
I would have went to every gig. I would have went to every one.
Yeah.
They, especially around that carnal knowledge time, that I was like addicted at that point. There was 2 bands I was addicted to. It was Guns N' Roses and Van Halen. And that record in particular, if they had toured here, I would have flown around all of Australia to see every show.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
I would have flown to every capital state, to every state, to the capital, wherever they played. I would have gone. I would have been on a plane, probably following their plane to try and catch up with them. But
I was.
Hey, Sandra.
I was 16 when I went to Balance my first tour, and I'm kicking myself. I could have went to the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. They played in Seattle. My brother went to it. My brother went to Monsters of Rock tour too, but I was old enough to go to the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. I was a freshman in high school, 9th grade. I told these guys a couple weeks ago, I had the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge shirt that said "fuck" on the back. And I mail ordered it in the mail, and it took 2 months to get here. And I turned it into the wash to have it washed, and my mom folded it and saw it and threw it in the garbage.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
There's a moral to
And
that story.
I had the
Do your
live
own
right
washing.
here, right now. Youth is King. I had that T-shirt too, but she let me keep that one.
Yeah. Now, when I was younger in arenas, and it's not quite like this now, but in those days, when the house lights went out, I didn't care where I was supposed to be.
You were close.
You would position yourself right before the house lights went out to where you could make the dash up against the barricade, and most of the time it was in front of Eddie's mic, and there was not a force on this earth that if I'm at a Van Halen show that's going to keep me off of the barricade.
That's when they used to call you Fast Tony Fruitcake.
Yep.
Right.
It wasn't Tiptoe Tony.
No.
And he's got proof. We got proof tonight of that he's going to share with everyone, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I have the picture myself in my archive that we're going to show tonight.
Really? Okay.
So lots of concerts. As a child, I took a camera with me. Some shows you didn't get much, just a couple back, and other shows it was pure effing gold, and as close as you can imagine, I mean.
Why don't you show something, Tony?
You want to see something? All right.
Yeah.
So,
and we were talking real quick before Tony gets into this. Back when you could where you can take a picture with your cell phone and, oh, that's a crappy one, delete it, take another one. Imagine taking a photo and then having to turn that camera in or the film into Rite Aid or wherever and get it developed, and you got to wait a week for it to come back. And they all could be terrible pictures, or maybe 3 of them are good or 10 of them are good. Now, it's just a different time now, anticipation.
These cameras in those days looked like
Does it
this.
Show us. I can't see it, Tony. Present yourself.
Oh, that's the sound machine that he's holding, but the cameras were, little
they
tiny
were
things.
just basically
yeah.
little cameras.
Yeah.
Disposable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
With the little flash, it had like 4 shots on it. Those ones?
Yeah. All right. So I took shots. I've got some shots here from 82, just the Diver Down tour. I've got some 81 stuff too that's in there. We'll show those on another show when we're talking about Fair Warning or whatever. But this is the start of the 82 whole tour. They played Alabama and then they came straight to Greensboro, and this is
wow.
That's how close he was.
Those are your photos?
I took these.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Holy cow.
You should be digitalizing these.
Yeah, man. You got it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, no.
So can you pull the plastic up off those, or will it rip?
I can.
Oh, yeah.
Let me.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Let me.
I can almost feel the sweat dripping off David Lee Roth.
That's not a thought that I want in my head.
Well, look how close he was. Jeepers.
whole thing is about these is they're on this page in this album, and I'm scared to take them off.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, what you want to do is you want to scan all that stuff.
Yeah.
You want to go to a Office Depot, or I don't know what you have over there, but you want to digitize that stuff.
You can upload it to a website, your own. You know,
Yeah.
Now,
put a watermark on them so no one else can claim them as theirs.
these were later on that year in Raleigh at the end of the U.S. leg.
Look at these.
Wow.
And that's like
You're a pretty good
December.
photographer, Tony. You're pretty good, man. That's not bad for a poke and shoot camera.
Yeah, no, you can see the camel toe on David Lee Roth.
Yeah. Dude.
And of these in 82, I got some enlarged through the years, and there's one of them
That's a great photo.
that I got
yeah.
enlarged.
Oh, man. So what happened, Tony? How come you didn't continue your career in rock photography?
I know. Well, I mean, it's like I was just a kid at a concert holding a pocket camera. That's all.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's.
Wow.
That's
You
a great
should
one.
be you should be posting these up on a website or something there, Tony. That's just my
Well,
opinion.
selling prints, man. Yeah.
So, Andrew,
would you still have the negatives? Probably not.
No, I don't.
one cool thing that Tony said is he was so close to the front that in between barricade and the stage where the security guard stands, there was a pile of cigarettes where Eddie would throw his cigarettes down in between the crowd and the barricade, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Right. Now, another thing, too, we've all heard this tale where, you know, the legend had it that Roth used to mark the stage.
The grid
And
system.
The grid system, that's real, because I've looked over top of the barricade, and it's white even numbers and red odd numbers.
So explain the grid system for people who don't understand, Tony.
The grid is where if Roth sees a young lady who he wants to meet at the after show.
Or boy. I mean, let's be equal here.
A person.
After show,
A person.
there is a grid where he can say red 6, 8 rows back, red shirt.
Red
And
6,
this
she's
guy-
10.
Yeah, had nothing to do with band
goes to
choreography,
work.
did it, Tony?
Right. And
It had everything to do
goes
with groupie
work,
technology.
and he'll go out and give her one of these, which most of them had their initials on it, and this one it does. So if the young lady who he got to meet had Joe Blow Roadie's initials on it, he got a cash prize.
$100.
Really?
$100.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he got her
Wow.
afterwards.
Sloppy
I did not know that. I did not
Yeah,
know that
if-
they.
Yeah.
If
I
she
wonder
wanted
how
to
many
use a car wash, if she wanted to use the car wash, she had to use her card, her credentials to get in.
I'm just sitting here wondering how many times the roadies gave it to the wrong girl or guy.
Well, I'm sure that by the time the show's done, if there's X amount of them, 6 or 8, who have them, then, you know, I mean, one wrong one in the bunch isn't going to hurt. You know,
one rotten grape. Hey, so
one rotten grape.
so when did they?
Grape will ruin the whole bushel.
So when did they stop the grid system then? While we're talking groupies, guys.
I know that they did that in 81 and 82. I don't know about after that.
So he was on David Letterman in '84, and he talked about it on David Letterman. David Lee Roth did.
Yeah.
And Tony and I were talking in the green room when Dave split with the band. A lot of the crew members went on David's side because there was extracurricular ways to bonus. So a lot of them followed Dave because he took care of the crew.
Most of them left. Left.
Oh, really?
Crew and office. Yeah.
So Tony, can I show the slide picture from '82 with little guitars? Can pull it up on the big screen?
Yeah, man.
Let me pull it up here real quick, and then I'll share. And then we'll let you talk about it. Let's see. Let me find it here. You guys keep talking. Talk about the grid system.
Who said you can't learn things when you come on Halenville?
Tony, how does the grid system work on this show?
All right, I got it.
Put your emails in the chat. Put your emails in the chat. All right, let's go.
What, right?
Come on, give us your emails.
Oh, hey.
All right, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
What do we got here? You guys see anything?
No, we saw everything.
There it is.
We saw all your graphic stuff.
Oh,
browsers.
Be careful of those browsers.
Okay. It's not zooming in for some reason. There's a lag. Okay, you guys see this picture here. There's Eddie. 82 tour, right?
Yeah.
What's he holding there, Brad?
Little guitar.
Little guitar. So obviously you know what song he's playing.
Yep.
Who's this guy right here?
Let me show.
You want to do yours?
Let me do another one I've already got loaded in.
Okay. It's too hard to see.
Let me. Well, it's small. Let me.
I was trying to zoom in. It wouldn't let me for some reason. Must be the grid system's jamming up the bit rate.
There's too many people swiping right now.
Where is it at? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right.
Nice hat.
That's a hat, right, Johnny?
Let me do it like
no, that's
this.
smoke. That's from. That's.
Let me do it like this. Let me share this screen.
We need an overhead projector. Remember those?
I'm gonna get one of those.
All right,
yeah,
so there's the picture. All right. So this is Greensboro, and that guy right there N- him.
We know him.
That's me right there. You see
No,
my cursor?
no. It was bigger when Kurt showed it.
Oh, it was.
Blue 28.
Mhm.
Pink.
See-
pink,
see what I
pink top.
what I do when I do my shows, I've got, my main thing here. I've got another one over here. I'm able to zoom in. I'm able to pinch and zoom on stuff because I use a MacBook.
That's the best photo for
Yeah.
this anyway.
Yeah. So
That's the universal sign for check this guy out right here.
So do you remember that, Tony?
show.
Do you remember Eddie sliding? Because obviously he was sliding past you. That's when he would run and slide across the stage.
Golly,
That was
that'd be awesome.
basically.
And who took that?
I don't know. It was taken on the stage.
Yeah.
Now, legend has it in the encyclopedia that show was videotaped. And
Let me
I've
see
never.
if Niels Lozauer took it. If it did, it might be in this book.
I forgot to show you guys another page.
He took this one. This is Andrew's favorite.
No, it's not. It's the pink puff. It's the pink puff pants he was wearing in '86.
No, it's not.
Gosh,
That's not my favorite one. The one of him in front of the mirror is.
chained up, chain baby.
Dude, that picture with the double neck man, that's a great one.
That one, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that thing.
Wow, that's amazing, Tony.
Pretty cool, huh?
Jeepers, that's pretty cool, man. That's amazing. So, how old were you when you took those shots?
This is 82. I was 14 in the 9th grade. Is that right?
Okay, so you took those shots and you whipped it off to the drugstore or the camera store and got them to develop the film, and
Yeah.
you went back, grabbed the envelope, had the photos in there, and you just sort of sat there on the curb just looking at them.
I was like, holy shit. They turned out good because I took a bunch that year prior in 81 on that tour, and they're as many and almost as good as those are. But they turned out really, really good. Those
So,
Raleigh ones, they were never. I took a whole roll, and those just a couple came back, and they aren't great. But you never know. I mean,
I know we were supposed to deep dive in the Diver Down album and the Hide Your Sheep tour, and it's almost 2 hours into the show because we've just been kind of freeballing here. But
That's
one
fine.
thing cool I thought we could share was the pick thing that you showed me earlier, which I think not a lot of people know about. If you want to go talk about that.
you got that reel ready?
Yeah, let me grab it up real quick. Get rid of these photos of Dave and his chaps.
Chaps.
Save those to a special folder.
Yeah. The Johnny Bean folder.
I used to have that. I used to have that poster on my wall, the one of him looking in the mirror. You know that
Oh
one?
my gosh. Yeah, I know that
And
one.
he has
We all know.
all all the alcohol in front of him. I used to have that on my wall, and then I had a bunch of new old stock copies of that, and I sold them all to Van Halen store.
So can you guys see this? I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Let me zoom. Here we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yep, keep going.
Okay, you
I did
picks.
I did a lesson on that technique years ago. I called it the capo trick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that. So you see his picks. Tony, why don't you talk about the picks from 78
Now,
on?
Yeah, those picks right there, they appeared in 81. Now, when they first came out, Van Halen 1, it said Van Halen side by side. The next year, there was one word Van and under it Halen. And then 1980 came and they looked like that right there, but they used those during 80 and 81, and in 81 they got another batch that that's gone. That look
You want me to share again?
Let me show these.
Yeah, show your picks, and then I'll show the picture after you do yours.
Yeah. So these right here.
Isolate. There you go.
The brown one appeared in 81, and they used it in 81 and part of 82 in North America. The white one, we all know that one as the 1984 pick, but that first appeared in South America on that leg of the Hide Your Sheep tour. Okay, so they use the white ones, and on the other side it's got his name, but they use those in South America and the US Festival and 1984. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Let me show. There we go. So now you can see the Frankie Kramer that he used in South America. He's got the white picks right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did he burn his wrist or did he break his wrist on this one? I can't remember.
He broke it. I think he fractured it.
Did he punch a wall or did he punch Alex?
Ask John Biel. He probably knows. Van Halen news desk actually did a story, and they showed the X-ray, the X-ray of it.
So pretty cool. I didn't know any about this until Tony and I. Until he showed me
picks, those picks in that picture, I don't think those are Van Halen picks.
Yeah, we zoomed in on them.
They are.
They are. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know he would use Fender picks where you would see the Fender logos, and then sometimes you would see the Dunlop logos.
They were rare occasions, though. That occurred during some dates in Van Halen 2 and in 1980, where I don't know if they just left them, the truck wasn't, the band leaves that night and whatever, but there are shots where in those couple years where he did use anything But those right there, if you go on YouTube and you look at those shows,
Which shot? Which
it,
shot is that? Is that the same?
South
Argentina,
America
maybe?
right there,
Yeah.
because he's got the Kramer ad.
Yeah.
Well, he also he played that guitar in the States too, like right before they went over.
Oh,
He played
did?
that. Yeah. Yeah, like right before. But like there's another picture here where I just zoomed in.
Here's one of
I
the
just
US Fest
zoomed in.
where he's got them.
And I can see that they're Fender picks.
Hang on, John.
Oh yeah,
If you really
Okay.
look, that's a Fender logo.
yeah.
I know it's blurry. He's wearing the same outfit though in the picture that you just showed.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking those might be Dunlop. But it is cool. It is cool to see the different the different stuff. Yeah, not that exact image, but there's a poster. There's a poster just almost the same as that. Yeah.
I've seen close-ups, Tony, where Eddie put gaffer's tape on some of the top of the cabinets of his amps, and he would put picks on that as well. So he'd put them on his guitar, on his mic stand, and then he'd put them on the top of the cabinets so he could grab them from there as well.
Right. But that's the evolution of them. Every YouTube show that's on there, I mean, a guy like me, I'm a guitar pick nerd. I zoom in on that stuff like that. But those South America dates, he used those white ones that they call the 1984 picks.
I questioned whether or not you were a guitar pick fan until I saw that you had a camera dedicated just to the picks, and then that validated it for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
How do you switch in between? Do you go into your
That's
camera
awesome.
mic settings on StreamYard and then switch to another camera? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Did you notice that, Brad? He's got a pick cam. You should name it. You should name that camera.
The pick cam, yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Another thing too is, you guys know, for secrets, Eddie used the Gibson SG in the studio, and then used it on tour for the first quarter of the tour. So Tony saw him where he was playing the SG double neck, and then in Louisville, which was, a quarter away through the tour, he got the yellow double neck, and he switched and used that for the remainder of the tour.
A couple of weeks into the tour.
Weeks into the tour, yeah. Just right beginning. And if you hear his interview with Jazz Ulbrich, he talks about people were giving him crap saying he looked like Jimmy Page. And so he switched to the yellow double neck. So that's another cool one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool little piece of advice that some people may not know. Some people probably thought he used the double neck to record that song,
I don't think so.
No,
yeah,
I'm not knowing,
I talked to Jazz on the phone one time because he called the shop that I worked at asking for the boss. And I remember answering the phone. He's like, "It's Jazz Obrecht." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like, I knew who he was, right? But then years later, I find out that we're actually related by marriage.
Oh, that's cool.
My uncle is related to him. I don't know by marriage if that makes sense, but yeah, my how can I explain this? My mom's sister, her husband is related to Jazz, so I don't know what that means to me, but if I would have known that then, I could have told him that, and you know.
You can see right here where at the end of the tour, they come back in the South, and there's a Asheville and a Raleigh date.
Tony, what site is this? Is it secret?
It's no, it's a bootleg site.
I can't believe I've never been on this thing.
It has like a bunch of like live shows and is it the Mighty Van Halen?
Yeah, it's the Mighty Van Halen.
It's been around for years. Yeah.
I can't believe I stumbled across it.
And there is your last leg there.
Yeah, the first couple shows in South America were canceled. And then they only did a handful of shows.
That's right.
Yeah.
Why were they cancelled?
Let me look.
Civil unrest.
I know they had problems when they got down there with like the venues not being up to code to like their equipment.
Oh,
This
okay.
show right here is on YouTube. I'm sure you've all watched it. This is the only Van Halen show in history where Ed's been stage right and Mike stage left.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And we asked Kevin. We asked Doogie about that because he called in one time, and I don't think it was that. He's in my group, my Van Halen group, which, by the way, we just surpassed 40,000 members today.
Wow!
Congratulations.
I was like hundreds of people a day join that thing, and
39,000 weirdos, 1,000 normal fans.
I told Kurt earlier that show, if you go watch that show where Ed is stage right,
Yeah.
on that one particular show, that's one of the best shows I've ever seen. I mean, from start to end. It's a great show. Sounds great. You can hear Mike's bass. Roth is kind of with it, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great show.
So Brad and Andrew, I know we did Diver Down here a couple weeks ago. As far as the tone goes, if you were to set up your home system, what would be some of the main things you would do to set up your system to try to emulate the Diver Down era, whether it be live or something off the album?
Andrew?
I know I put you on the spot, but you're under pressure. Under pressure, you're the best.
Well,
I'm lucky on my show. I've got Brad tone tips,
Me.
so I just pass all that stuff on to Brad.
May the tone be with you.
May the tone be look, it's a unique tone on his record, on that record. It's definitely a unique tone because there's you can definitely hear the Marshall, you can hear his super strat vibe, sort of definitely Frankie, but it's all in the hands with Ed. That's the thing. No one can play like that. You can sit there for hours trying to emulate that.
Got to have a chorus.
Yeah.
Slight chorus,
exactly.
something like
See,
that.
you know a few things, Andrew.
Yeah.
Not to get in trouble.
Was he using like one of those big boss chorus units at that point?
The rack
Forgot what they-
chorus, right, Johnny?
He was using the Roland.
Rolling.
All right, don't go looking for one because I'm looking for one. It's called the Roland DC30.
That's it. Yeah.
Is what it is. I had one for a little while. I borrowed one from the store that Jazz used to call, right? And
Name drop.
that's the tone.
Tone.
But if you go out and get the EVH 5150 chorus, that'll give you the same sound.
Get you in the ballpark.
Right there, Tony.
Yeah, it'll give you the same thing. So I need one. I need to get one. I haven't had one.
That's it,
yeah,
right
that's
there.
it right there. I had one of those, man. The analog chorus echo Roland DC30. I had one of those in my room, man.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
And he just really started using that on Fair Warning, right? And Ted Templeton, remember we talked about this too a couple weeks ago. He was against it. He didn't like that processed sound, and Eddie snuck it in. And then he really put the boots to it on this album and put it in even heavier.
Mm.
And you can
You
really
hear
hear it on the US Festival.
Yeah,
You know?
you hear it on
Okay.
Pretty Woman. You hear it on
Yep.
Pretty Woman. You hear it on Little Guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two that really come to mind to me for the ones where you really hear it,
Yeah.
because
Little Guitars, it's fairly predominant on that one, definitely.
yeah, I've got the isolated tracks for Little Guitars from Guitar
Secrets
Hero.
a little bit too.
Yeah, I've got all those, Johnny.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got them on my hard drive somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say Secrets had a little bit of chorus too, just different gain.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the other thing too, Cathedral. I don't know if any of you guys have tried to dial in a Cathedral sound, or if you have the Yamaha THR 10X and have that Cathedral setting. A lot of people don't, realize that it's a pretty high gain setting as well, just with the volume rolled way back on your guitar.
Mhm.
Probably a higher gain than most people think. Just with the volume rolled back, that's where you get that, that tone. I think on Cathedral, and he used a 63 Stratocaster, a Sunburst Stratocaster on that track.
Yeah. Fried the volume pot.
Yep, he
Now,
did. Seized it up.
Ed used to do that live in 81 also.
Yep.
Yeah, except it's not the same. It's like
It's
a really
almost the same though.
no, it's
Oh.
not. It's eerie. It's a super
It is.
eerie.
Right.
I had a vinyl. What was it called? I had a vinyl with that. Actually, it's probably on one of these tapes down here. But he would do it's a technique, but it's not the same tune.
You-
Like-
you-
Like maybe he went into it eventually, but it was like different.
kind
It was
of
like
different, but
it was like a real eerie kind of thing. Can I find it?
every 81
82,
bootleg
you said?
that 81,
81. 80. Oh, right.
it
Let me
appeared
find one.
in 82 on the album, but
80.
every 81 bootleg, he's doing it.
And I don't know if you guys watched our show when we did the Diver Down, but I played the first 10 seconds of that Aerosmith song that sounds like
Yeah.
the beginning of Cathedral.
Yeah.
And Eddie, he admitted that he ripped little pieces and riffs off from other people.
Oh, sure.
Not the whole thing, but just tidbits, snippets,
Roth
right,
too.
Andrew?
Yeah. What's the advantage with the Roland rack over a decent pedal these days? A good chorus pedal?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
Nostalgia?
Well, I think
Vintage
Johnny hit
gear?
the nail on the head. I think the EVH one's pretty damn close.
The what? The chorus?
The EVH one, yeah.
EVH chorus?
Yeah, he was asking what's the difference between the rack mount unit versus like a pedal.
What's the advantage, Johnny, with the Roland rack mount over a very good, decent pedal?
A pedal that's the same? That's identical? Or you mean just
Like-
any chorus pedal?
Any
EVH
good quality chorus pedal?
Yeah.
Every chorus pedal sounds different.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says chorus on it, but there's tones that you
Different
can get
modulation.
in one type of thing. And the thing is with that Roland, that's a chorus and echo combined.
Okay, so that's going to
And
get you
that-
closer to that tone.
That is the tone.
That's
what
is the
for little
Okay.
guitars, that's what he used.
Okay.
That's exactly what he used for little guitars, and you hear it. Like I said, I have
Okay.
the isolated tracks from Guitar Hero, the guitars, the drums, the vocals, the bass, everything. And
Okay.
and with the guitar, you totally hear it.
And everyone thought it was a multi-track. They thought it was layered. They thought it was
Yeah.
2 different tracks, but it was that unit and his echo, which he talks about in the Jazz Oldbrook, Johnny Beane's uncle's third cousin's brother's interview.
Stepsisters.
Yeah.
Niece.
Tony, can I play this?
What is it?
It's that cathedral from '81.
You haven't?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. It's here. Yeah, well, I'll play a second of it.
This
It's
is the good stuff.
Tell me how loud this is. Yeah, it's different, or it should be anyway.
Wow.
He made
See,
that
it's similar.
eerie. He made that eerie like that even years later also.
Alan in For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Yeah, that was
I want to hear the rest of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Oh, I wanna
it starts.
I want to be digging for that tonight.
It starts off like Cathedral, and then, but doesn't finish because it really wasn't written yet. It was just a technique that he was doing.
yeah.
Eddie was predictable, but he wasn't. Everything he did, it was always like after the fact. You're like, oh man, now I know why he did that, or he did that because he was going to do this later, or he came up with this because
A lot of that stuff,
everything
a lot of that stuff he would write on tour
Yep.
on the
Yeah.
bus. He would stay up all night on those bus rides and just play guitar all the time and write.
or in
and
the
then-
hotel.
And then he would in the hotel, and then he would play this during sound checks.
Right.
All those years, he would play the stuff for Alex, and Alex would say, "Well, hey, that's cool. Remember that. Remember that piece. Remember this. The song Pound Cake." Alex was a huge part of Pleasure Dome. Alex was a huge part of arranging, a lot of that stuff because Eddie would come up with a lot of parts, and that's
Yeah.
why.
And
That's why the singer was important, whether it was Dave or Sammy, because they would help arrange a lot of the parts that Eddie would bring to the table.
Right.
You know?
And Eddie and Alex, or Eddie would get mad at Alex because Alex would be like, "Hey, play that you played yesterday during the sound check," and Eddie couldn't remember it, and so he would get mad at Alex for not remembering what he played, and so they would get after each other because
He would tell him to
neither one of
remind
them-
him. He would say, "Hey, next
Yeah.
time you hear something you like, remind me." You know, and
Yeah.
I'll remember it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Especially with Sammy. Sammy became critical, didn't he? Too there.
he did. He bridged the gap, and I think Eddie throughout the years he would get after the guys and say, "Hey, we got an album, but we got to produce in 6 months. Like, let's get some content put together." And I think everyone was relying on him to just come up with stuff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember, sort of researching, I remember reading that Alex used to go through all the demos that they do in 5150 and pick parts out and go, "You got to make something and get that to Ed," you know.
Yep.
So especially that's where that pound cake thing Johnny was talking about came from, a Pleasure Dome.
And
That
that's
came out
that's
of-
where
that came
that's
out
where
of-
Sammy. Sorry, Brad. That's where Sammy is a little bit unfair in his book by saying that Alex Van Halen never wrote a song in his life. You know, he was important, but you know, maybe not directly a songwriter. But as far as the musical creativity of the band was concerned, he was a cog, wasn't he?
Oh,
We
yeah.
had a clue.
They all are. You're in the room and you're hashing stuff out. You all are, you know. Whose name is on the bottom can be misleading, you know, but every group, you all are integral in how those songs sound. Roth too, you know, Alex too.
Definitely
So
interesting,
for him
right?
to say that, yeah, is unfair, you know.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah. They let me ask you guys, have you watched a YouTube cover of a guy doing pound cake? And he doesn't have a drill, he has a toy, this toy little thing.
Eric.
Well, yeah. Well, I wondered what the heck this toy thing that creates that drill sound. Ah, you've got one.
It's a hairdryer.
Brad, you better get one now. Now that you got the guitar.
But I use that hairdryer for my bed, not for pound cake sounds.
Well,
We want to hear you do the intro to Pound Cake, mate, with it.
Ah!
I looked at this and I read the comments and I said, let me see if I can find
Dude,
this
that guy's a
thing.
monster player. Eric, he's fantastic.
That's what this.
Oh, it's a bubble machine.
It's a child's bubble maker. It costs $8.
Oh. Oh.
So what's the
You've
deal with
got-
that?
Oh my gosh! I thought,
You said the
creates-
motor in it sounds
It
like the
cre-
drill.
Exactly like
Pound cake.
yeah.
Really?
Because nowadays the new drills have a clutch in them, and they don't go the same way that those old ones do.
they're not a mechanical gearbox anymore.
There
And
you go.
guess what
They're not
I'm
a
gonna
mechanical
do?
gearbox.
East was it? Extreme.
Yeah, I sell
extreme,
drills.
Extreme
I
bubble.
don't know. You're the man.
Guess what I'm gonna do after mine gets here?
I'm surprised you didn't get one for your grandson for Easter and then steal it from him.
I've already got the paint cans waiting.
I love it. Yep, you can paint that baby. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm still in all, Tony, 42 shows.
Oh man.
Um.
I've seen one show, but I will say the show I saw was very good. But other than that, I'm jealous.
What year, Brad?
I think it was 98. I think it was. Andrew.
98. They went
Yeah.
down there
That was-
with Gary,
20
right?
April
Oh,
They
98.
opened up.
Yeah, I saw them on the 20th of April, '98. They
Nice.
played some, so like the show that's on YouTube that everyone's seen from Sydney.
Yeah.
That was the show I was
Right.
at, but it was a lot longer show than what they put on YouTube, obviously, because they played. I've actually got the set list here in front of me because I saved it all on my computer. They played Unchained, Without You. They opened with the song Without You. They started with We Can Work It Out. The One I Want, Mean Streets, Fire in the Hole, Why Can't This Be Love, Romeo Delight. There was a drum solo. Then they played Dreams, Dance the Night Away, Feel Your Love Tonight, Humans Being, Somebody Get Me a Doctor. Year to the Day, there was a guitar solo where they did Eruption. Right Now, Ain't Talking About Love. Then they come out for an encore and did Josephina, Panama, and Jump.
Yep, that's the same set list they did at Auckland.
Yep. And so that was Sydney Entertainment Centre. That was an amazing show. I mean, you've seen some of the footage on YouTube, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen the show. Yeah.
I saw it when MTV played it originally.
And Ed was on fire. I was pretty much in front of the mic, but closer to Ed's side, but probably about 7 rows back in the crowd. And I could hear the guitar off stage. Yeah, the 3 cabinets he had, I could hear them. It was, I mean, I could hear the PA as well where I was sitting, but it was phenomenal. And when he started Mean Streets, I was just like, I can't believe I'm actually hearing this live, because I never thought I'd hear that live. So that was phenomenal. I'm sure Andrew can probably relate to that. It was a lot of power. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
The guys I went up with to see that concert, we didn't care that it wasn't Sammy Hagar. We didn't care that it wasn't David Lee Roth or, we were just happy, 5 of us, that we were going to go and see Eddie Van Halen. That's all we cared about.
Yeah.
I was like rapt that I got the chance to see Van Halen. You know, I mean, to me, it was still Van Halen, no matter who's singing for it. So it was it was an amazing experience. So, I mean, I got to meet the band on that for about 10 minutes. I went to a record signing, which I've got their signatures and stuff. Actually, that's my collectible stuff. I've done this.
Were you part of the grid system? Were you picked out because of the grid system?
That's how they got him. That's how they let him in the door.
Is that how they got you?
He was wearing shorty shorts.
Nice.
I was wearing chaps.
Reverse chaps.
That's it.
Did that come with the pink pick, Brad?
Yes. So there's Ed's signature there. And then when I met them, I had this with me. So when I was backstage, when I was in the lunchroom at the signing, because I knew someone. Hang on, here's a pick.
Yep, there's the pink pick. Yep.
There's the pink pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I got them to sign this for me, all of them, and obviously they personalised it. Brad.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
But I was very.
Oh, man,
I know we've showed this on our channel, Andrew, but I was pretty rapt to meet them. They were all really nice. Ed was just such a nice guy. He was so because I spoke to him briefly about my mate's band Baby Animals that opened for them on the Carnal Knoll tour, and that obviously opened up a whole conversation within itself, because he loved Baby Animals and loved Dave's playing, and we were chatting about that, and so that was really cool. And he gave me a hug, goodbye, and all that stuff. So I mean, look, all those little moments now are precious, aren't they? When you sort of take it for granted at the time. So, but so that's my claim to fame with Van Halen.
Nice.
That's just as good.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Mikey was really nice. Alex was nice, but just acted like he couldn't be bothered being at the signing. and Gary was pretty quiet, but he was a gentleman. So what can I say? But Ed was the one talking. He was the one, you know. I was in shock, to be honest with you. It's like, what do you do when you meet your heroes? You kind of freeze up a bit. You don't know really what to say. It's kind of like, well, what am I going to say to you? What am I going to say? You know, what am I going to say to you that's going to be of any relevance to you that's going to make you want to chat to me? That's what I was thinking.
I love your music, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I kiss your feet? Yeah, like you did the
Well,
right thing by
You've
talking
saved my
about baby
life.
animals. Like that was
I just
perfect.
that opened up. It just came out. I didn't mean to even talk about that, but I just brought that up, and then Ed was like, "Oh man, yeah, Dave," and he was chatting to me, and it was about 10 minutes or so I got to spend with my heroes, so that was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
good
And
experience.
Johnny, Eddie gave Dave a red Music Man,
Yeah,
and Brad,
Oh, wow.
you got to hold it right.
I've played it. Yeah.
Oh, you played it, yeah.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw it?
They were on my friend's show. Yeah. And I jumped in and talked to them, talked to him. And is it Susie?
Susie got a gold top off Ed as well.
Oh, wow.
Got a gold Music Man off him. Yeah.
Mhm.
He gave him a guitar each. Yeah.
I got to talk to them for a little while on my friend's program a while back.
Yeah.
But when I was waiting to see Van Halen in Omaha, Nebraska, 1992,
Yeah.
I was sitting in the grass and Susie walked almost over me. I
Yeah.
remember. I'm just
That was-
sitting there and somebody walked and I recognized her because of the MTV, because of the video, like the single that they had.
Yeah.
And like a month before, I was hanging out. I got to spend the day with this band called Mr. Big, because this friend of mine, this DJ, was the first DJ in the country to start playing the song called "To Be With You." So the band comes to town, and they're doing record signings. They're doing guitar, music store signings, and when the first time I met Billy Sheehan, I've met him a few times over the years. I've had him on my show, but when I first met him, I said to Billy, I'm like, "Hey, can you get me backstage at the Van Halen show next month?" That's what I asked him. And he's like, "No." He's like, "It's a different organization, you know?" And but then I met him I've met him at NAMM several times, and then I had him on my channel I've seen him many times over the years, just walk by and stuff. But anyway, that was for the show in Omaha that Baby Animals opened. And
awesome band. And I'm pretty sure I'd have to go through and check all my photos and everything of when I was recording in a studio in Sydney, but I borrowed a lot of gear off Dave to do big recording. We were spending lots of money at the time. Pretty sure I had that guitar in the studio, and I think I might have used it on a track or two as well. So it was pretty amazing to think that guitar was, wow. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think. That experience alone must be, even more so now, more meaningful to someone like Dave Leslie than from Baby Animals than ever before. But he's told me some amazing stories from that tour and things like that. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of cool photos of him in 5150, the studio. He's holding the Frankie guitar, it's on his website. He's got that actual guitar in his hands. And so, yeah, I think Van Halen really loved Baby Animals, so they took him under their wing a bit, which was really cool.
And I've heard lots of stories of Eddie giving away the Ernie Ball Music Man because he was so proud of that guitar at that time. Yeah. And, there was always that struggle of not having enough available, or the factory couldn't keep up with the demand. I wonder if there were times where Eddie couldn't gift a guitar because he couldn't get one. And it happened more than once to where he was like, all right, I need to find a bigger supply chain to make more, because he loved giving them away. That was like his thing,
Yeah, he gave quite a few away, but at least to the baby animals, he gave Susie one and he gave Dave one.
Oh,
Dave
nice.
Dave used his red one that he got from Ed on pretty much all the Shaved and Dangerous. I think that the record they did, Baby Animals Shaved and Dangerous, and on the tour he played it to the frets are worn out on it, pretty much. So I saw him at a show recently, or when I say recently, a year and a half ago, when he did a little show here in Melbourne, Australia, and he pulled that guitar out and played it for a couple of tunes. So it was, played it on a couple of Baby Animals tracks, which is cool. So tell you, he still pulls it out and from time to time. But I'm assuming that now, more so than ever, that guitar probably means a lot to him, I'm sure.
Big time.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If Ed gave me a guitar, I wouldn't play it.
I would.
Oh, God.
I would.
You would?
I would.
He would want.
I would, yeah.
He would want you to.
Yeah, I'd play it.
I think
I'll play it.
guitars are made to be played. That's just my opinion, you know. I mean, the thing of buying, say, that guitar in the background there was I wouldn't spend massive amounts on a guitar these days because I've got some nice guitars, but the bargain price it was, I bought it as a reason I'm going to play the damn thing. It's not going to sit in a case. It's going to be played. So, yeah, I think if I was given a guitar by one of my heroes, I'd play it. I'd just be like, yeah, well, I'm playing it. Maybe not travel.
You wouldn't give it to anyone else to play.
No, I wouldn't travel with it. Like if I was doing touring and the way the airlines handle equipment these days, I probably wouldn't travel with it. Probably have a travel guitar, but what I'm saying is that locally and things like that, I just play the hell out of it. It's what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Even at a dive bar where someone's going to throw a tequila sunrise at it.
I would just put some chicken mesh up, put some chicken wire up, you know.
That's 90% of his gigs.
Chicken wire.
I've played, Johnny. I've played some venues here in Australia, Outback Australia, where they still have chicken wire in front of the stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's a joke because if you saw the movie The Blues Brothers,
Yeah,
they showed up at a bar and they're like chicken wire,
Mm.
and they're like, "What kind of music do you have here?" Oh, we have both kinds, country and western.
Well, Johnny, that was a joke. Every time we play these venues, we'd go, "What kind of music you play?" We play both kinds, country and western.
No, that's fine.
Roadhouse.
I grew up on that movie, man. That was
Roadhouse.
I love Blues Brothers, and then the store I worked at that Jazz used to call up. I was outside one day, and Steve Cropper comes walking down the street.
Hmm.
You know, from the Blues Brothers,
Yeah.
right? From what's John Biel? What's his song? What's the one tune that he's known for? You guys all know
Sweet
it if
Home
you heard it.
Sweet Home Chicago? No.
No, it's not. It's not even a blues. Let me see. Let me just find the title of it. You all know it.
Sitting at the top of the
Sandra.
bay?
Well, I mean, there's Soul Man. I mean, everybody knows that one, but it's an instrumental.
Oh, and it's not Green Onions.
It's most yes.
Green Onions.
Green Onions.
Yes.
Right. Because it's mostly organ, and then you get the little guitar. You know, it's dun 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 dun, and then you got the dun, right. Anyway, so I'm outside one day, probably smoking a cigarette or something, and he comes walking down the sidewalk to go into the shop, and I recognized him. I'm like, holy crap, and he walks in, and the couple things I remember from talking to him was I was behind the counter, and this store I worked at, it was just a mess of just stuff everywhere, just piles of whatever, right? It wasn't your normal guitar store, let me just say. And I'm behind the counter, and for some reason there's a bottle of perfume or something sitting on the counter, and it tips over and spills. And he's in front of me. He's standing on the other side of the counter, like right here, and he smells it, and he's like sniffing around. He's like, what's that smell? and it's like, oh, this stuff just spilled on the counter or whatever, right? But anyway, that's Steve Cropper, Blues Brothers, classic, man.
Yeah.
One of these days, he's going to get an in-ear piece and have it under his headphones.
Me
You and
or John Biel.
you, and you're going to say, John Biel. And he's going to be in your ear.
He's gonna be like,
nobody.
Oh, what? Yeah. I need a button where I can shock him just to wake him up. It's like, John Biel.
He's got school tomorrow.
Yeah, he does. He does.
So you guys had a holiday today, right? No work?
Yeah, no work
So,
today.
Public
No work.
holiday.
We don't get that here in the States. Some do, but the low scumbags like me, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
Don't
too.
worry, I work most weekends where everyone's having time off. I'm working on weekends. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Hey, Janice.
we're all got to earn $1 somehow, don't we? So,
Right.
Hi, Janice. Berkeley, California, CK. Right, Ned?
So what else?
I want to show you my brass. I want to show you my brass fine tuners that Kurt
Your
put
what?
me on to.
Oh yeah.
My brass fine tuners. Hold
Oh,
on.
I think he said I want to show you my breasts.
whip me out. Whip me out.
You've been looking at too
Yeah,
many
so-
of those David Lee Roth videos, Johnny. See my brass tuners here? Fantastic. Thank you, Kurt, for putting me onto that. I paid attention to your one and thought I should do that. And
That
I
looks
also
good,
flipped
man.
my JB around too. So yeah, and I was inspired by watching Brad last night changing some strings. So I put some strings on here, and nothing like a fresh set of strings. And before I changed the strings, I just did a bit of sanding here just to sort of make it look a little bit more closer to Eddie's.
Oh, cool. On the fretboard.
Yeah, bit of
Awesome.
sandpaper. But yeah,
Tony.
Mate, those brass fine tuners, man, they look cool. Thank you. Thank you,
amazing.
Kurt.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was gonna tell Tony, you have yours in the background. Do you have brass on yours, or Johnny? Do you have brass on yours?
No.
So that's what Ed had on his.
On a Floyd?
Oh.
Yeah. He had black on all the.
Let me
Mine's not exact.
let me grab it. Let me grab it.
You
Yours
know,
was what?
mine's not exact. Mine's a homemade build.
That's
So,
okay.
yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Mine is too, but mine had black fine tuners on it, and I got these brass ones off eBay for 20 some bucks and threw them on there because that's what Eddie had on his. That's the only guitar he had the brass fine tuners on.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have to do what Kurt did on his. I'm going to have to paint that black wire yellow.
Yep, I painted mine yellow because I didn't want to replace it because Eddie's is yellow.
Thank you, Kurt.
On the 5150.
You got all the tips, bro.
Yeah. No, on my 5150, no, because mine's like a newer Floyd. This Floyd is from my Kramer Focus 1000 that I got in '89. So this is an '80s Floyd. So yeah, the '80s Floyd has the brass fine tuners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can see them. You can see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours are aged. Nice.
Slightly tarnished
Awesome.
up, yeah.
Beautiful.
Nice wear on the frets there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're totally worn out. I mean,
A
Beautiful.
lot of mileage on that neck.
Yeah.
$400 if you want to replace the frets on that thing.
Have you got your one back yet, bro? Have you got it back?
Yeah, speaking of necks, have you got that back?
I did, but I just started throwing strings on it, but I haven't finished.
Oh, show us.
Brand new frets. Look at those things.
Yeah.
They look good.
Wow. Wow.
And I put these stickers on too, just recently.
Awesome.
And then the one there too.
Oh wow. I should get some of those.
And
Good, man. And you
So I
took
gotta
the
finish
back
it.
cover off. You got
back covers off. Yeah.
Yeah, good
I got
on you.
tape
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah. Good.
I got to finish it up. When I take the springs on and off, I tape the back of the guitar. I'm gonna maul it up with my pliers. I get nervous.
Brad didn't want
Show
to
us
take
your
his back
headstock.
cover off.
Can we see the
But,
back of your headstock? Let's see the back of it. Let's see the back of the headstock with the neck. Is that headstock finished?
Yeah.
The headstock is finished and the neck is unfinished, right?
Yeah.
No, the neck stock is finished.
The neck stock?
Or the
Show
the
us
neck
your
is
one, Johnny.
finished. It's not dirty
Show
like
us
yours.
yeah.
I want to show the okay, okay. Bring it down a little bit. Let's see where the headstock is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it's all one. It's all like the same color.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same color. Yeah. On mine, it's like two totally different colors. Like it used to be the same. That headstock color used to be the exact same on that neck. Used to be.
Brad, how long will it
time
take for yours to get like that?
10 years.
Brad?
Uh-oh.
No, he's not there. Oh, yeah. So how long is it going to take for yours to get like Johnny's,
man.
Brad? 6 weeks?
Mine's virgin.
Don't wash your hands.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't wash your hands.
And
Man.
tell everybody that that you didn't want to take your back cover off, but Kurt made you.
Yes.
Oh, he did take it off. Good.
But yeah, then it needs a bit of playing. Compared to Johnny's, it's a virgin.
Yeah.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at that.
Change your oil and then play.
Oh,
But it's got some beautiful bird's eye in this. I don't know if you can see it. And it's got flame when you look down the
Yeah.
neck.
Oh yeah. The bird's eye. These guitars have amazing bird's eye on them. Oh, look at that. Yeah, yours is like it looks. Wow. Yeah. See, mine I've been playing since '92 without
Well,
washing
mine-
my hands.
I'm sure mine will look like yours in about 10 years. 10, 15 years. But even the neck, the fretboard, there's absolutely no wear on it.
Wow.
phenomenal. It's brand new, man.
Nice.
Out of the box.
Johnny, I want to ask you a question. Now, last night on your show, Paul mentioned a word and you knew what it was, and John BL did not. And I did not either. What is that word?
I can't remember 20 minutes ago.
Oh, come on, Johnny.
What?
Man.
What-
Really?
The part where
John BL.
it's Ed's word for
The word of the day is I don't remember.
you don't remember
Okay.
that? To put a
KXM Rock. Jape. Jape.
Jape.
Jape. Yeah. That's
I've never heard that before.
That's a
You
term
guys
that Eddie.
do that?
That's a term that Eddie used for throwing effects onto the guitar. You know, it's like, because when you record. Well, you record dry is what you say, without effects, because you don't want the stuff burned into the tape. You know, these days with Pro Tools, with computers, you can record like I've done it. I've recorded like totally clean, and you can go and add any amp, simulator, any distortion, any whatever, and make it, the way you want it, But jape is the term that Eddie would use for effects. So let's say when they're mixing, it's like, hey, we'll just throw some jape on it. Is what he would. That was his term for that.
So he liked the take, and he would just say, "Throw some jape on it later," basically.
Okay. Meaning effects, meaning echo, chord, like whatever it needed.
Jape.
Because all that stuff is done later in the mixing.
Right. It's all dry recorded.
You don't record jape to tape because you're stuck with it. And then you're mixing, and then you realize later, oh, the drum cymbals are clashing with the sound of the guitar. Well, you can't. There's nothing you can do. That's why you add all the stuff later.
On the first record,
Janice.
On the first record, he had effects in Sunset Sound. Was he recording it dry, and then were they adding later, or was some of the effects done?
It's possible some of that was burned onto tape, because that was their first, like the first album that they were brand new doing that stuff.
Did it kind of live. They'd
rehearsed that stuff. They'd played it live, so it came across as being live, being one take, basically. Like I have like we were talking about the Guitar Hero stuff. I have some of the all of the tracks from Guitar Hero. And like the drums, like during the drum tracks or the bass tracks, you can hear the guitar slightly in the background while they're playing. And on some of that stuff, you can hear like
bleed
like
over
the bleed, and you can hear some of the effects. The coolest track that I have, one of the coolest is I've got the bass track for Jump. Okay. Which you actually don't even hear in the actual song, because the left hand on the keyboard is playing the exact same thing as the bass in the song.
So it's mixed in.
So it's mixed in. But the coolest thing that you hear is during the keyboard solo, because it was all done live. The guitar was added later. So the synth, bass, and drums were all done one time, like together, right? During the keyboard solo, you hear Roth scatting other lyrics that bleeded onto the bass track. Like before he did his bass vocals or his vocals, like Roth was in the studio singing along when they recorded the instrumental tracks. Roth was there singing, right? So what I'm saying is some of it bled over onto the bass track. But it's like stuff that wasn't on the record, like different screams, different words.
Cool.
Right.
So it's pretty cool stuff.
It's good to hear all those tracks stripped back and isolated, so you can hear all the things they do in the studio that when you listen to the record, there's no chance you're ever going to hear them. But when you hear them isolated, you can hear all the little bits and pieces. It's quite unique. I have got that Guitar Hero isolation tracking on my hard drive, and I've listened for hours and hours and hours to all the little bits and pieces. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Mandatory.
Yeah. And today I was listening to Hang 'Em High and Where Have All the Good Times Gone isolation track, guitar track, and it's just incredible. Yeah.
I would love to hear more isolation track stuff of the Sammy era as well. That would be awesome.
Well, they have some sort of program that can take out the vocals, but it
There's
kind
not
of
quite the
flanges
same.
it.
I would love to hear
Flanges it a little bit.
the isolation tracks on, say,
The stems. The stems, the actual tracks is what you want to hear, because when because I can do that. I have all those, because I record myself, and you can take the vocals out, but what that does is it's never truly out because you can still hear the reverbs.
And it compresses up things too a little bit. So it's a weird effect on the stuff. Because I've done that stuff, just quietly. I've done that stuff for my son when he does like little sort of wants to sing along to tracks and stuff like that. I take out the vocal and I just let him do it to the actual track. But it does
karaoke versions, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of makes them sound a little bit weird, compresses them up a little bit weird and stuff. But hearing the actual isolated tracks is pretty unique. That's amazing. And I would love to hear, for example, isolated tracks of songs like Amsterdam and I can't even think, Spanked and all sorts of different things. I would love to hear the isolated tracks and stuff, Even just the drum tracks. Love to hear the drum isolated.
I do have an Amsterdam. When they were in Amsterdam, they played these club shows. They did the promotional tour before the record came out, and I do have a like 20 minutes of them jamming on Amsterdam, just instrumentally, and it's soundboard. It's soundboard.
You should be sharing that with us all, Johnny.
I shared it with the Van Halen News Desk. I'm friends with Jeff from News Desk, and I sent it to him, and this was years ago. So at some point, if he did a story on that, he would probably share that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hearing those Guitar Hero isolated tracks, it would be nice to hear some of the Van Hager era stuff isolated.
Oh, that would be awesome.
CK has a question. Why on the Jump video does Roth let out the woohoo after the solo that's not on the studio track? Do you guys know the answer to that?
Johnny?
The added vocal?
Me? I would think that that's like an Easter egg for the music video.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't on the single. It wasn't it was only in the music video. And I would think at the time MTV was still brand new. Every band music video was like the new biggest thing. So they were trying to do like the coolest, whatever. And it's possible, that was something that was, I mean, it was only in the music video, so maybe it was just produced for that. And then, he would mime it, or maybe he did it during the filming, and then, they went in and did the, when they're making the video, they just produced a vocal for that. Yeah, for the audio, because there's so much stuff you can do in the studio.
Hey, Caleb.
Let's say when hey Caleb. Let's say when a Different Kind of Truth, right before that album came out, you had the previews on iTunes, and I had burned a CD of all the previews, right? So I was listening to all these, they give you a minute, 30 seconds, hour and a half, or minute and a half of these songs or whatever. So I'm like listening to this stuff like nonstop, and there was a song called Out of Space, where I'm listening to this, and I'm like, that sounds like that's from Running with the Devil, And then I made a video. Go back on my channel from before that album came out. And I made a video comparing, saying, "Hey, that scream was actually from Running with the Devil, and they used it on this song, like it was like worked into it,
Right.
And a lot of people they really came after me for that, But if you A/B it, it's the truth. Next time you listen to that song, listen to Running with the Devil, and you'll hear the exact same screams. Because if you remember, at that same time, this app came out where it had all the different Roth screams and woos and
Roth
stuff from that
soundboard.
tune.
Yeah.
The Roth soundboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. There's a new book coming out. Another Eddie Van Halen book. I sent the info to Andrew and Brad this weekend. Pull it up here. There you go. Thank you, Andrew. You're hip shot right there. Eruption.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for it, brother.
Oh, Brad.
Whose is it?
Brad from Guitar World. I know him. I see him at NAMM all
No,
the time.
that's our Brad. Our Brad.
Oh, Brad's right. Okay. I hadn't heard
No, the guy that wrote the book. That's Brad from Guitar World. I know that dude.
I did it. It was me.
So pre-order. I think it comes out in. I already ordered it. It comes out in October, the day before Eddie Past's anniversary. So it's 60 interviews or something like that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I've ordered the digital and also the hard copy because the digital will probably come out straight away. And being on the back end of the world, bro, it'll probably take about 3 or 4 weeks before we get the hard copy. You guys will probably get it straight away, the hard copy, won't you?
Yeah. You're on the other side of the world.
Probably take me a bit longer to get it than you guys there in America.
So are you
You're
expecting anything?
You're a day ahead of us, but it takes longer to get.
Yeah. Kurt, are you expecting anything interesting in that book? Any revelations or? Yeah. Have you heard anything?
You know, that's why I'm buying it, because I've read everything that he's put on paper or what people have put on audio. So they say there's a bunch of unheard interviews. So yeah, I think there is going to be some stuff. But with that being said, Eddie was pretty particular as to who he shared certain things with. So if it was someone that maybe he didn't trust or he didn't know, and it was an interview that was thrown at him that he had to do, he sometimes he would do surface interviews and wouldn't be real with some people. So who knows what we're going to get, but I'm sure there'll be some good nuggets.
Are you expecting any new interviews before he passed away kind of stuff, guys? Would there be anything like that, do you think?
I know of something happening. There's a book in the works right now. And I would say in the next year, Steve Rosen.
Oh.
He's got some lost interviews, doesn't he?
He's got he's got a lot of stuff. He wrote a book with Ed years ago. It never came out, but he's got hours and hours of tape stuff from Ed's house, from on the phone, and he's after October, he's hard at work. He is hard at work on it.
So why wasn't that book released during Eddie's lifetime? Were there some issues in that book that he didn't? Can we speculate?
Steve Rosen split the sheets. Something happened where either Steve released something that Eddie told him not to, or something happened and they lost friendship after 86 or 87, right?
Steve says it was a little misunderstanding.
Yeah.
and Steve and me have talked. You know, Steve was my co-host on my other show.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
But he said it was a little misunderstanding, is all he said. He hates it, but yeah.
So Tony, with Eddie passing, that means that it's clear for Steve then to release these interviews.
Technically, I would say so, but Steve, I'm sure that he's gonna consult everybody else. You know, when it's
Caleb
gonna come
is
out.
still in here. Caleb, do you know if Bertinelli, which one? Who's the photographer? David. Is he still gonna do a book? See if he answers.
Well, if you're coming to Australia, make sure you bloody come to New Zealand.
What's that?
Nerd Halen, he's talking about doing a tour to Australia, and I said if you're going to come to Australia, he's got to come to New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull him up for some guitar lessons. I want some guitar lessons.
Hey, Brian Spalding.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, pretty good show tonight, guys.
Yeah, have fun, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to split soon, guys. Thank you for having me on, Tony. I appreciate the invitation, and obviously my other co-hosts on the show that we do. It's always good hanging out with the Rev and with Brad. Appreciate the invitation. Thank you.
Anytime, you guys come back any week you want. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad that we behaved to get a repeat invite. That's very good because, the Rev made sure. He said, if you guys come on this show, I expect you guys to behave, use your manners.
You guys are always welcome here. I love you guys' show. Now, when is your next show, Andrew?
So it's Friday your time, Friday evening your time, which is Saturday afternoon Brad and my time. So yeah. So I just want to do a quick shout out, Tony. You know, let's take over the internet with Van Halen. Van Halen is he's our Jimi Hendrix. He's our inspiration. And I love the support and the friendship that we have in this Van Halen community. You probably don't get a lot of that on some of the Facebook groups, but at least on our YouTube groups where we hang out, most of the people are pretty cool. You know, and it's about sharing information, experiences, opinions, and you know, when you've got a guy like Kurt that's been reading this stuff for 40 years, it's an untapped resource that he passes on willingly. So, and then obviously yourself too, who's been a fan since you were 14 years old. There's a lot of information there. Look at the photos that you showed us this evening. You know, man, you've got to get those photos digitalized. You've got to do that. Go and take them somewhere to a copy center and get them done, because photos only have so much of a lifespan. I'm sure of it. You know, they do deteriorate. So you know, you need to keep those. You need to make sure you do that. But you know, 42 gigs, man. 42 gigs. Holy smoke.
Yeah, I know.
I think we should call you Fruitcake 42.
42. Let me explain that name too while I'm at it. And I get asked this a lot, but I'm looking at my screens. I look down at Brad, and I'm looking over here at this name, and I'm looking down at yours. That's why I chose that name so I wouldn't have to put those numbers at the end of my name. That's all that is. It's a straight Van Halen reference.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't call yourself Spanish Fly, Tony.
My first original email address back in the 90s was Kurt5150. And then my Gmail since the 2000s has been Kurt5150. And I told these guys all, every credit card I have is a 5150 PIN number. I'll have to change it now that all 15 people in the chat know that.
No, but it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, Tony. And we'll make a point. We'll make a point of sharing your channel on our show with when we do things too. So I'll make sure that we've got a link for a banner. So when we show a banner, it's about supporting each other, and we've got our each have our unique things that we offer the community, and I never get sick of it.
Oh, me neither. I could talk Van Halen all night. I've got to be up in just a couple hours. I'm trying not to look at the clock, but hey, I could talk Van Halen all night. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm going to split soon anyway. But thank you. You've been a wonderful host. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Tony, for having us on. And
my pleasure. My pleasure. You guys come back any week you want to. We'll be right here. You too, Kurt. So,
Johnny.
Next week on our show here, what we're going to do, me, Tom, and Johnny last year did a stream where we ranked all the albums. We're going to do a show next week where we choose our top track off of each album.
Ooh.
Awesome.
So if you guys want to come by and you want in on that show, you're more than welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the offer.
Yeah. So we will be right here next week. Right?
Hey.
All right.
I'm
gonna pow out.
We're out of here.
I gotta be up in 4 hours too, Tony. But I got a 3.5 hour drive ahead of me in the morning, and then a 3.5 hour drive home. So I'm gonna be on the road pretty much all day. So
okay.
Safety first.
Me too.
Wow.
All right,
we've got to do one. Well, can we just do one little shout out to Johnny Beane, our daddy, our guru?
Wait a minute.
Our progeny. The reason why we're here. Thank you, Johnny. We'll always acknowledge you. Here in New Zealand, it's called the whakapapa. It's like a family tree, and if you're anybody that knows anything, you have to know your family tree. And, so we acknowledge you as our mentor. And, you're the guy that started it. You're the guy that gave us the inspiration to get out there and do our own thing. So, thank you, Johnny.
I did. You're the ambassador of everything leather chaps.
And pink puff pants.
Johnny's the one taught us how to shove Van Halen down everybody's throat.
Absolutely.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
I love
Take it, baby. Take it.
That's right.
Yeah. Go ahead. Change the channel. Van Halen's on all the rest too.
Yeah, I dare you.
Just don't grow a mustache.
You got to twirl it. Come on.
All right, guys.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
We're gonna
Kurt, Andrew, Brad, you guys Appreciate you being here. Johnny Beane,
Thanks, guys.
That's all.
everybody in the chat, appreciate it. Have a great week. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
And we will see you guys next week, hopefully. Take care.
Explosion at the end. Hilarious.